reality. These newly minted metapilots gain access to unique powers and abilities, slowly transforming them into true masters of the metaverse.
Hey everybody, it's Meta Monday!
Yes, it is.
Welcome to Masters of the Metaverse on the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment channel here on Twitch. I'm your host and GM, James Durham. I'm joined at the table and remotely by Chris Odie,
Odie.
Sean Franklin, Christian Doyle, and Ethan Bouchot.
Yo!
Before we start talking about Masters of the Metaverse, what it's all about today, I'm going to let Chris take a minute and tell you about some Zoe stuff, important news. And a train.
Trains. I have the advantage that I don't have the train in the background here, so what a perfect time for me to say something. I just want to check in and say hi. I hope everyone is doing well in the midst of all of the situation that we're all dealing with. I have two very large stupid black labs that apparently Sarah just shoved in this room with me, so this is going to be interesting. Anyway, I just want to check in and make sure that all y'all in chat know and have been told that here at Zoe at Zombie Orpheus, we're working really hard to make sure that we can keep things going in as normal-ish a way as possible, figuring out ways to do some remote shows and other options, looking at alternative ways of streaming in the near future. I know that many of you have heard the news that we've made some changes to what's going to happen with Journey Quest 4. I just wanted to say, as someone who was part of the Zoe management team, I was very proud of the way the conversation and process on that went. There was a really huge focus from the ground up of how to be as deliberate about still delivering a quality product, but also being mindful of what we needed to do to keep everyone safe, and also importantly, recognizing that there's a lot of folk who were really depending on that paycheck. And so how can we be responsible in making sure that that still happens? So I'm very happy to some great ideas have come forward on what to do with that. Ideally, this all comes back to normal and life goes on soon. But as we know, we live in interesting times. So I just want to thank you on behalf of the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment Management team, the cast and crew. We really appreciate you sticking with us and through all of this. If you aren't on our Discord yet, I'd be shocked because I think everyone who watches us on Twitch is. But if you're not, there's a lot of good conversation and check-in going on there, so please consider that. And then also, I guess just to check in, I am remote tonight, just because, as I think many of you know, we all live in different parts of the state. across a few different counties. And as it happens, I get to be in one of the counties that is the most colorful right now. And so, out of deference to everyone else's health, Sarah and I have been choosing to stay at home since we have that option. And since we can't quite tell whether or not we have been exposed to anything. So that's why I'm up here. I also know that Christian is taking selfies now and probably doing awful things to me on the camera that I'm so glad I can't actually see.
That's true. I am. Hold on.
It's all good.
Just want to get one with you.
And that's everything I had to say. I'm looking forward to Metaverse tonight. It's going to be great. Thank you, guys.
Oh. Excellent. Thank you, Chris. Before we get started today, I want to take a moment and address all of you, our fans, our friends, our family. Let you know that we're here for you, and we're going to remain here for you no matter what happens in this difficult time. And no matter how dark or frightening the world gets for you, remember that you have each other, and that's what's going to carry you through the worst of things. The person next to you, the person on the other end of your text conversation, the person you joke with on Discord, the person you swap theories with on your favorite shows. Be there for each other and help everybody you can. It all comes down to us as individuals to make things right. So set the example and support one another. Be strong, and if you can't be strong, find someone strong to lean on. And if you can, make sure to be there for someone who can. And we'll get through this. We'll persevere together. So let's have some Masters of the Metaverse fun, guys. What is Masters of the Metaverse? Well, it's only the most interactive live stream RPG on the planet. We've got a great store that you can buy all kinds of fun and interesting things to change the course of the game and add anything like talking, transforming stagecoaches and sentient floods and you name it. It's been hacked at some point or another. We also have our weekly Patreon polls, which I have results for if you guys want to write down your benefits from our lovely poll.
Oh,
yeah.
no. Oh, you know I do.
You want those? Okay. We're going to start with Sean. You get +6 to a roll and +40 hit points or health today.
All right.
Ooh.
Ethan, you get +5 to a roll and +40 health today.
Thank you.
Chris, you also get +5 to a roll and +40 health today.
Yay!
And Christian, you get +7 to a roll and +70 health today.
What?
Piss your pants.
Someone is the new tank.
I might be able to do a little tanking today.
So last time on Masters of the Metaverse, our heroes traveled to Metaverse 742, following the will of Patric and John Stone in search of his missing brother. After a less than pleasant landing and reception from the Martian resistance, our team brokered a deal, half of which they've completed, disabling a planetary defense grid. Now all you have to do is travel across a bug-infested Mars, get a massive 1,000-year-old plus spaceship into orbit, grab a moon, and launch it at Luna. No big deal, right? Nothing can possibly go wrong.
This will be fine.
Pierce is busy working on the ship, the Reliance, that travels the Metaverse to hopefully be able to get you home when this is all over. He's got those parts from your recently crashed bomber to use. And you now have some fun 742 equipment like laser rifles and the like, so you're not completely helpless. From your present location, it is approximately 16 kilometers to the alleged location of the colony ship.
And away we go.
Away we go indeed.
You traveled there at a pretty good pace, even on foot. And about halfway through, the terrain starts to change a lot. And most of it here is really rocky outcroppings and ravines, and it's really rough. A couple hours in, it kind of changes and gets more sandy-like and less of these rocky outcroppings. And can I get notice checks from everybody?
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
Do I notice things? I do. Okay, let's see. No, not. Oh, I did. Made it by 1.
Made it by 1.
Beefed it by 2.
We're rolling D10, correct?
Yes, you should be on D10s unless you want to use one of the moments of clarity, of which there is currently only 1 in the store.
Beat it by 4, sir.
Beat it by 4, beat it by 1, and what was that over there for you?
Failed by 2.
Okay.
Got it on the dot.
All right. Well, 3 of you, throughout your little travels, every so often you notice, something moving in your peripheral vision, often over the rocks or in the ridges, and a couple of times you get a pretty good view of these things. They're about 5 feet long, look like a really big cockroach, but they all seem to disappear before you can really get a good look at them.
Cockroaches.
None gets within closer than 200 meters of you. They seem to be keeping their distance from you. But they're definitely around. As I said, the rocks slowly give way to more and more red sand, and the outcroppings are further and further and further apart. And that's when the ground gives way beneath your feet, and you fall about 30 feet into a funnel-shaped opening. And there's about a half dozen of these oversized cockroaches waiting for you down there. So let's start right in with some initiative and a wonderful combat, ladies and gentlemen.
That's great.
This sucks.
Can I bring up something just from the end of last episode, just to?
Go right ahead.
So apparently, I have the ability of self-diagnostics and repair
Uh-huh.
as a cyborg, and I was told, I didn't even notice, but I was told by the AI in my head that I have enough of my own actual DNA that they can recreate my own skin after it burns off.
It has been regrowing.
Yeah.
Most of it is almost intact by this point.
Nice.
The all steel body of John Stone is not all steel anymore. It has some
So
skin
gross.
growing over it.
You are so
It is
gooey
kinda
right
gross.
now.
But it's still kind of cool though. Yeah. So.
It was still pretty gross that happened.
You're so gooey.
That was really gross. Just saying.
So gooey.
I think it's a.
It is
He's walking
distinct
skin. He's like a skin walker.
It's coming back.
could
Skinless walker
It's
after the
coming back.
atmosphere burned the black right off of him.
It's coming back. All right, it's coming back. Can we focus on the task at hand? Apparently, we have giant roaches.
Oh, the big hole we
bugs.
just fell in.
Yes. I want
Well,
to get back to the reality of what we're doing.
So can I get some initiative scores from folks?
oh,
Initiative.
good. I was hoping we'd get to roll initiative right away.
18 whenever you were ready.
18. Thank you.
Ooh.
Also an 18.
Also an 18. You two seem to score the same initiative result quite a bit there.
Just have so much in common.
I got 23 today. Feeling good.
How about you, John?
I forget. We're doing
12 for
12s.
initiative.
That's why I knew that. I knew that.
No
I
worries.
knew that.
I know.
Why you tell me things that I know already? Why are you doing that?
I tell you all kinds of things you know already.
All right. 8 and then 12.
12. A little slow on the draw there, John. All right, we're going to start with Patrick. You have fallen into a very dug out funnel-shaped hole, and there's a half dozen of these things waiting below you, and you can hear more of them up
Could you
top.
describe the things?
About 5 feet in length, but it looks a lot like a cockroach, but the forelimbs are kind of almost blade-like.
Oh,
Of course
okay.
they are.
But they're definitely big bugs.
Oh, all right. So
Really
Starship Trooper bugs.
big
Got it.
Bugs.
Good, good.
Oh.
Well, the only good bug is a dead bug, right?
Yes.
That's a matter of opinion, I would guess.
He's quoting, but that's good. It's good. I dig it. I dig it.
Me?
Yeah, you're first, man.
Okay. Well, I imagine they're all grouped up, coming at me.
They're kind of waiting in the bottom of this funnel-shaped hole for all of you, you know? Like they dug it out and were waiting for something to fall through so they could eat it.
So they're all around us. Is what I'm
Yes.
saying. Where we are surrounded
And
by.
they're giants.
Well, they're about 5 feet long, so they're really big for a cockroach.
So we're down in a hole.
Hey James, can I make a
Feeling so
knowledge
small.
type check to help out Patrick?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I beat by 10 my Metaverse knowledge once per session. Use any skill from any Metaverse at 16. I would like to know the best possible way to kill these things. What are their weaknesses? What are they phobic towards? What are they allergic to? What do they have nightmares about? What turns them on? Anything of that.
They are, with a critical success, you can learn quite a bit. They're a hive-based intelligence, and while not particularly individually smart, their intelligence is solely based upon the queen of their hive. They do have a central nervous system, much smaller than humans, located in what you would call the head of the cockroach, and it's probably the most vulnerable area to kill them outright. They don't really have much of a sense of self-preservation. Not really afraid of much, but being as they are an insect, some elemental forces are harder to overcome than others.
Great. So if we flip the lights on, they'll go running. And that's what I'm going to try first. An incendiary flashbang.
in the hole with all of you.
That's fine. Used to it.
It won't bother me so much, but
You're right.
I'll be fine.
Just the flashbang. But
Are you gonna warn any of your friends?
yes. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Flashbang in the hole.
All right. Other than John Stone, I need everyone to roll against your body score, but you get a bonus of 6 to it because you were warned ahead of time. The giant cockroaches do not get the bonus of 6. They don't speak English.
Great. I succeed by 5.
This was against what skill again?
Your body score.
Body score. Oh, that's the first one.
Do you get your dodge bonus?
Your dodge bonus would apply.
Oh.
It's cool. I made it by 1.
All right.
I have a body of 6.
Yeah, I still missed mine.
Even with the dodge and
Even
the
with the
+6
dodge,
bonus? Wow.
yeah. I rolled a 17.
Oh.
even though you're the one throwing it. All right.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I guess I just dropped it in front of me and was like, hey, fuck me.
Well, you know, you're in a enclosed space with a flashbang. It's not really a pleasant situation. All
Just
right.
Yes, but I assumed that I had thrown it as opposed to just dropping it in front of me.
You got all the old skin goo stuck on your hands. And it's
That must be it. That must be it.
You can chalk it up to a lot of things, but yeah, that is definitely an unpleasant situation. All right, we will go next to both Thomas and Mac have an 18. So
What happens to me?
Oh, you're going to be stunned for a round.
I was hoping that would be.
Yep, absolutely.
So
Stunned for a round.
next round stunned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take this. How deep are we into this pit at the moment?
About 30 feet. And it's very funnel shaped, so you're kind of really tight together at the bottom, which may have been how that flashbang got him. He didn't really have a whole lot of space to cover.
Right. Only so much room for him to duck down after the rest of us. I would
Why
like
wouldn't
to.
that happen to me?
I don't know.
Well, he's like an explosives expert.
Right. I would like to dig through the go bag and see if we have just like a rope and a normal grappling hook in our go bag. Is this something you would have?
You happen to have a rope and a grappling hook. It is Nick Krieger's go bag, so it's got a
Oh,
lot of
that's
weird
right.
stuff in it.
Oh, I've got the go bag.
There's some things in there, yeah, that you're not sure why they're in a go bag. Like there's a rubber decky in there. Who knows?
I'm not screwed with that. That's none of my business.
I 100% put a detonator and some C4 in there already. Don't worry.
Oh, of course. I would like to take the rope and hook and just try and send it straight up and out of the pit so that hopefully it will lock onto something on the rocky landscape.
Make an athletics roll, please.
Absolutely. And I'm going to do that using my fast learner with a 10, even though I'm not any good at it normally.
Yeah, buddy.
And I am going to take my +5 to succeed by 2.
All right, you are
Mark
able
that
to
off right off the
grapple
bat.
up out of the funnel-shaped hole that you are trapped in. Thomas,
Yes.
up to you now.
So, if I understand correctly, we are in a room surrounded by these bugs.
Funnel-shaped hole, but yes,
Funnel-shaped hole, excuse me. Are there any other tunnels that we see? That's just the way we came in, right?
just the way that you
Or
came in.
fell in.
Yeah,
Okay.
slid down the
In that
side,
case,
landed together at the bottom. Yeah.
in that case, I'm really excited because apparently the Google Dice roller
A
really
5-foot
likes
bug
these.
is a bit much.
Oh.
But if I have learned anything these past few weeks, it is likely only a matter of time before you tame and then ride them into battle. Hashtag hack attack.
Thank you, Jet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jet.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 2, and I am in love with the Google Dice roller right now.
Isn't it great?
And yeah, what I realized as I sat down, I'm like surrounded by all this crap, and I didn't bring my dice, so this thankfully exists. But what I would like to do then is I would like to retrieve the drone from Patric. That he so
Absolutely.
lovingly has been holding on to, and I know he has a mixed relationship with, and I'd like to help him with that by dousing this with some very quickly improvised cockroachy pheromone stuff, because now I know exactly what they like, including
Yeah.
what turns them on.
Oh,
That was the
good.
question I asked. And so then I would like to send this drone, since I have drone operation and repair as a skill, I'd like to send this puppy back up the hole and as far from us as possible.
And after you,
Nicely done, sir. Now,
Goodbye,
2
little
on
one.
that, a critical success with the 2.
That's
You,
thinking outside the hole.
Yeah, that's thinking outside the hole there. You send that drone up and out of the hole. The next up will be the cockroaches, of which 4 of them are unable to act because of the flashbang, but they will be pursuing that drone as soon as they're able. They just can't right now. But 2 of them immediately begin climbing very quickly. They don't seem to have a problem with vertical surfaces. Right up and out of the hole. And there seem to be several more that have just been getting ready to climb down into the hole that are now also chasing after this drone as it departs.
They got their little roach
Good call.
borders.
Good call.
That's so creepy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
John.
I like it.
Okay, so I have a skill called, I've never used it yet, but it's called Judge Opponent. Exactly what does Judge Opponent mean?
Oh.
Go ahead.
If I might. So you basically you make a mind roll or some kind of skill that has to do with noticing things, and if you make it, you can tell like what they're like depending on how much you make it by, like how many hit points it has, what kind of dodge bonus it has, how much damage it does, what kind of powers it's got.
All right. I like to know my enemy.
It's
a good thing.
That's exactly what it does.
Good thing.
It can be very useful.
Unless you're Luke, in which case it actually passes physical judgment on them.
Yeah, that's an entirely different power.
Right.
You're a bad person. I think I'm gonna try to use that ability just so I can figure out exactly what it is that they're all about. Because there can't be just 6 of them. There's got to be more of them somewhere.
All right, give me a notice check. See what you can figure out about these cockroaches that wasn't already determined by Thomas.
Poor drone.
Beat it by 10.
Beat it by 10. That is also a critical success. Much like Thomas, you can quickly determine that these are definitely a hive-based intelligence. They just obey orders. They're much like drones themselves, and therefore probably were trying to harvest you as either food or some other form of material for their hive.
Oh, they like the bones.
To take us back to something.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And I don't know how they communicate or anything.
With the pheromones, mostly.
Pheromones. All right. So there's 4 of them still down here that are stunned?
Yeah, they
Can't
are
really do anything?
completely stunned, can't even act yet.
Okay.
That flashbang was pretty significant for them.
Okay. Is there anything in this cave that uses a weapon, like a big boulder or something?
Now it's kind of just a funneled, dug sand pit. It's a trap, like a funnel web spider's trap. But
Oh.
But sandier.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And which one is, out of these guys here, did I determine like one of them is the boss? Because no, the queen isn't here, but it's one
the
of my...
queen is obviously not here. They all just
They're
seem
all
to be
equal
drones.
Equal drones.
But also with your critical success, I'll give you one other thing that I didn't tell Thomas. They're all males.
Boy roaches.
All of them are males.
Huh. Guys, kind of dudes, right?
That's very unlike most hive-based creatures.
Space cockroaches. What are you gonna do?
Not just space cockroaches. Cockroaches from another metaverse.
Does this bag O guns have like a flamethrower in it?
It doesn't happen to have a flamethrower.
Oh,
Sorry on that.
All right. I'll just use my my regular. Are they all clustered together?
You need a flame?
Fairly close.
You need a flamethrower?
Like touching each other?
Yeah, close enough.
Huh. Okay.
We get the pheromones.
So I've got a static charge I'm going to use,
Probably flammable.
and perhaps if they're bunched up together, it might even like conduct through them.
You want to shock a few of them.
Take a few of them out.
All right. Give me a shooting test, please. They get no dodge bonus and are stunned, so they're going to be pretty easy to hit.
Oh, this is going to be a fighting or a shooting. Shooting.
You can do either.
Shooting. Beat it by 9.
Beat it by 9. All right, you're going to get 3 of them with that, and the charge goes through their body.
Everyone deserves superpowers. Hashtag hack attack.
We do.
Thank you, Jack.
Superpowers.
Oh, man.
You do.
Superpowers.
It's true.
Oh, yeah. The charge goes through 3 of them, and they kind of flip over, legs twitch up in the air, and go still.
Nice.
And the 4th continues to not move as it is stunned. We would go back to Patric, but Patric is also stunned. So then we'll go to
I
Mac.
can't see!
Great, I'm leaving. I'm crawling out.
Mac is climbing up and out of the hole.
Kid,
Thomas.
where you going?
Away! Sorry.
So Patrick is stunned from the
His own flashbang.
The flashbang, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
can neither see nor hear.
Is he vulnerable right now? Does he?
He will be vulnerable until the end of this round.
Uh-oh.
Paxamo is a brilliant woman and her idea is sound. This message was sponsored by Little Roach Boners. Hashtag hack attack.
They're all made, the little roach boners apply.
No, that is beautiful.
So how many roaches are still hanging around us now?
Well, there's one still here in the hall with you, but it is also stunned. That's why it's still here. Otherwise, it would have chased the drone if it could have.
Gotcha. I think in that case, I just want to go over and see if there's any way to help Patrick become unstunified such that he can still act.
All right. Do you have a medicine? Oh wait, you have every skill.
I have everything.
You make a medicine roll.
Hey. On the dot. Barely.
On the dot. All right. You are not stunned anymore, Patrick.
Oh, all right.
Just rub the Martian dirt in your eyes. It heals all wounds.
Yes, it's like the loam.
The ground provides.
Well, Mac was climbing out, and it is also stunned, so we're just going to skip it and go straight to you.
So I get to go. All right. This time, I'm gonna shoot one.
Well, there's only one to shoot, so give me a shooting test, please.
Right.
It is still stunned.
I pull out ye old magnum and aim for its little roach face.
Not the
It
little
is
roach bone.
proportionally to the body very small, the heads.
It's so cute.
It's
Like a
okay.
cockroach wouldn't be.
Patrick, can you keep one?
No. I missed by 2.
Missed by well, it is stunned, so it has a penalty of 2 to its defenses, so yeah. And has no dodge currently from being stunned. So it's a dead-on hit. You shoot the roach with the Magnum revolver, and it collapses. Not as dramatically as from the shock, but much gushier and grosser from the roach goop that comes out of its body. From being
Everything
shot.
is gooey right now.
Yes.
Is the goo all over him now?
It's kind
That'd
of
be
all over
good.
all of you because you're in a hole, except for the guy who's climbing out. Yeah. And you can hear.
What are you doing up there?
I'm leaving.
So you get to the top of the hole there first, Mac, and you can see that there were about another dozen up top, and they are more than 50 meters away now in full pursuit of this flying drone. Chasing
Mackie,
it.
Yeah,
rope.
yeah. I'll make sure that
I can
that grappling
I can
thing
throw
is
you
fixed.
out of the hole.
That's also probably true. I'll make sure that the hook is attached to something proper, and then I'll jiggle it to signal.
It's
all I
definitely
need to do.
fixed. You managed to
I
somehow hit
recognize
one of the
that
rocks.
based on my congenital cowardice, I'm not the one to suggest this, but is there any reason that we should explore down here?
Well, I was going to suggest that.
I'll come back down if you want, I guess.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not excited about it, but
It doesn't go anywhere though, right?
Doesn't seem to.
It's just it's a trap hole.
Okay.
It doesn't lead to a tunnel or anything that we can find, does it?
In fact, with the 2 critical successes, you're pretty sure they were watching you throughout the rocks and then dug this hole, guessing where you would come out of said rocks to trap you and eat you.
So they're
Or
Oh,
not,
so getting out's a good thing. We should get out.
so they're not that dumb then.
Their intelligence is based upon the one in charge of their hive.
Interesting.
Who in this case is only a first grader.
Should we get the drone back?
They are still chasing the drone. It is doused in the pheromones.
Eventually we can get it back. I think we want to wait until the bugs are gone.
Really though? I mean, do you want evil robot bugs? Because this is how you get evil robot bugs. They catch that thing and it's all over.
Oh no.
I'm not a biologist.
I'm guessing that's not the case. That doesn't make any biological sense.
Or a roboticist.
Entomologist. Anyway.
I don't think that makes sense in any form of science, period.
Isn't entomology
Cryptozoology.
a form of
Probably.
Maybe
biology?
Scientology, but that's another
He
story.
just has a good hunch about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you are completely in the clear now, it seems. They are chasing away and slowly disappearing off into the sunset, chasing after this drone.
So when and how do we get the drone back? Well, fair enough.
Somehow, even without the satellites provided, he's getting a cell signal. Who knows?
Yeah, I hacked it into one of those. Basically duct taped it to one of those Mars radios.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Put some chewing gum in there, a little bit of spit.
Another hour or so marching through the red sand passes. The drone returns, somehow lost its pursuers or what exactly it did. You're not really sure. But you have your drone back.
We should
it does
probably
kind of
wash it.
smell.
I'm gonna wash it and then I'm gonna hug it.
Oh, social distance.
I'll scrub it down.
Got cockroach pheromones on it, man.
I just washed.
Why'd you?
Gross.
Strong has been through a lot.
After that other hour of travel, you're pretty sure you're getting close to where the approximate site of this ship should be. Ahead, you can kind of see like a huge gouge or canyon or something with a domed metal surface. It's still a ways away, so it's hard to totally make out. And I need more notice checks from everybody.
Oh goody goody.
Don't worry, nothing can possibly go wrong
This
right
will be
now.
fine.
Now we're doing 12s with this? Or?
No, you should be on 10
Oh,
still.
okay. Now I'm just checking because I confuse those things.
No.
Beat it by 2.
Beat it by 2.
By 4.
Beat it by 4.
No.
Beat it by 7.
Beat it by 7. Well, the three of you are able to keep Mac from falling into a few more of these trap holes that seem to be set up. Now that you've seen one and how they work, you've started to notice how they look in the ground and the sand before you get to them so you don't fall into these funnels.
Oh yeah, I 100% like throw napalm down there every time we get to one. Just...
I'm too busy maintaining the drone. I care about it a lot.
All right.
It was nice. It blew people up for us.
And you also notice that kind of along the pathway behind you and in groups to both the north and south of you are at least a few hundred more of those cockroach things. Kind of
A few
spread
hundred?
out, yeah, in like a U shape. So I mean, they're keeping about 300 or 400 meters distance, but they're blocking every direction but that domed gouge ahead.
What are?
All these giant cockroaches.
They're just like standing in a line at the top of a hill, like
They're kind of
like the
behind
Sioux
you.
Nation is about to descend upon us.
They've all got
There's-
spears.
every time you stop, they stop.
Okay. All right. But say you know we're here.
Yeah, you're pretty sure they're hurting you, John.
Ah, okay. So
Wait, the cockroaches
my-
are hurting us?
Yeah, it seems to be that they're hurting you.
okay.
I'm not comfortable with this. This is not acceptable.
With my heightened senses, right, I want to pick up any kind of chatter that they're doing amongst each other, and then I'm gonna use my AI that's still in my head somehow
Very much.
to see. Tom, can you decipher any of this? I know it's going to be very rudimentary communication, but can you decipher what their orders are or what they're saying to each other?
I'm sorry, John. I'm not even detecting any signals.
Huh. Okay. So
I don't know
nothing
how
is-
they're communicating, but I am not receiving it.
Okay. All right.
ESP. Sorry, ESP.
Pheromones.
I mean, yeah, I would imagine that Tom couldn't sniff very good. That might be wrong. Is that incorrect? Can you ask?
No, he can't. He can't
Okay.
sniff. No, I just thought. Okay. So they're hurting us apparently.
Seems to be, but
That's
on the
great.
plus side, they're
I
at
love
least
it.
hurting you the direction you're traveling already. Hey, that's gotta be worth something.
I
So
love it.
what this tells me is that where we're going might be their nest.
Why do they want to send us there? When they want to protect their queen?
Maybe they want to feed their queen.
I don't like that. I don't like it.
Problem is, you guys are probably delicious. Me, not so much. That'd be kind of hard to get down.
I don't know, John. You look very tasty.
Little black joke.
No, it's
What? How?
It's a gooey joke.
How would that be a joke?
You're still gooey.
I'm just a little testy. I can't sleep, so I get a little cranky sometimes from not being able to sleep.
Right. No,
I
I
don't
just
need to sleep, but sometimes I want to sleep because I'm still human. Anyway,
no. I'm just saying that you look delicious, having nothing to do with your skin color in any way.
all right, it's cool. It's cool.
All right. I was worried I was accidentally racist there for a second, but I think maybe we're just being a bit touchy.
We'll do that.
This is between
I'll give you
That's
one accidental Jew joke in the future.
Jew joke or Irish joke?
I'll take one or the other. That's fine. They both apply.
Corned beef and matzah? No, I'll save that.
Actually, sounds
That
pretty
sounds
good.
really good.
I can't eat, so. all right. I get it. Let's go and
We're going to the
let's
queen.
go toward it. Find
You
the
continue
queen.
closer and closer to this gouge or canyon. It's got this domed metal surface, which is really big, like bigger than like a stadium dome top. As you get closer, you can see that it's very corroded, and there's whole patches of it that have just broken free and are completely open. I mean, it might have been something really impressive a long time ago, but it's certainly not all that impressive now.
Does it look, space worthy?
The dome itself? No.
This might just be like the holding area, and it might. Oh, I don't know.
And yes, as you get closer and closer, you can kind of see through it, and then you get up alongside of it, and it looks like there's some kind of like dome that would open and have something underneath it with all the spots that are worn away. You can just see down into it. There is a massive underground chamber there with the biggest ship, if you want to call it that you've ever seen. And you can only see the top of it. The rest just descends down into darkness below you.
What kind of condition does the top of that look like it's in? Would you like me to roll?
The ship itself, it's decent. It has a lot of corrosion on the exterior.
But no pitting through.
No pitting through.
That's good.
And considering that from what the intelligence you were given by Quaid, it's been here more than 1,000 years. It's pretty impressive.
I watched Dragonheart last night.
Corned beef isn't kosher, though, is it? Or is it?
Should be. I mean, as long as it's kosher beef to start with, it should be fine.
But it's corned. What does that even mean? How do you corn it?
No, it's not corn. It's corn. The corn is the large kernels of salt that you use. That's what the corning of the beef comes from. It's an old archaic way of referring to large amounts of salt. It originated as a way of storing the meat, being I'll stop.
You know, he did it himself. And I
was
think that's
intrigued.
very impressive.
And plus, it's still brisket.
Fair enough.
It is. It is pickled brisket
So there's ship.
with large corns of salt.
Mm-hmm. Or what you can see of the ship.
Okay.
Underneath the dome, you can see it, and there's little walkways that are rusted alongside of it, and a little ways down, maybe 30 or 40 meters, there's a rusted walkway that leads to the ship from one of the sides. You can't quite see the bottom, and there's not a whole lot of light in there because the dome is closed, even though there are a lot of holes in it, but it's letting in some light.
Okay.
Are there more roaches around it?
Not a one, and they've all stopped.
Roachy.
Wait, they've all stopped.
Yeah, they're about 300-400 meters back behind you. They
Hello?
just stopped.
Hello?
Ah, feeding time.
Huh. Interesting.
Does it make sense for step one to be trying to open the dome so that we can run away in any given direction?
Once we get in there, the only way out is down.
We have a drone.
And then up.
We do have a drone. What's the purpose of a drone if not to send it into possibly harmful spaces in our stead?
Well, so what is our ultimate goal right now?
There was a ship that you were going to launch, grab hold of a moon, and send it at a moon. That's the short version.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be where the ship is, if your information was correct.
Yeah, but
This
these
looks like a
roaches-
really big ship.
And these roaches are either afraid of it or they revere something about it.
It's Roach God. I mean, the spaceship kind of looks like a big bug.
Are there
or
any
crystal.
Nothing
signals?
to indicate that the ship itself is a giant roach, so I see no reason for us to not continue to explore or move forward.
Can I
Other
detect
than,
any?
impending death.
Can I detect any kind of signals emanating from the ship?
None. No signals. No electricity. Nothing. It's
Do I
dead.
detect any singles emanating from the ship?
No.
I close my Tinder app.
You did your best.
Yeah, you've got no matches here on Mars, Patrick.
No matches on Mars.
Oh, you didn't download Martian Tinder. It's still got. It's not set up for these.
Yeah, I hear the girls on that one are out of this world.
Can we send the
Huh?
drone?
I want to push
down?
Patrick in.
Huh? Oh!
You only fall about 4 feet, and there's a walkway set up in there,
Found it!
Stop
and then
spinning
stairs
around,
leading
kid.
down. With 2 more walkways, you can kind of see them. They ring the entirety of the dome,
My bad.
and head deeper and deeper down below.
Fine.
So are we sending the drone in? See what's up, or are we just all going? This is a big fancy space mission, and that's really I'm just kind
That
of
would seem the more logical and well thought out approach to send in the drone first.
Well-
That said, that would not seem to be the way we've been doing anything.
I feel that we are all equally experienced as astronauts at this point. We've been into
We're about the
space
same.
about the
I
same
don't
amount
know.
of times. Which is to say, 1.
All right, yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
send in the drone.
Okay.
Here, boy!
Where are you going to send this drone precisely?
Scouting.
Down?
Down.
All right. You get a decent visual feed, even with it being dark. About 50 meters down, you reach where that walkway is that goes out to the ship itself. It's coming out of some kind of control room. There's, again, no lights, no power is on anything. And you get it down about another 100 meters, and it's about pitch black. You kick over into some night vision, and there's still just rusted walkways and stairways leading down, and rusted walkways and stairs leading down.
I know what's gonna happen.
300 meters, 500 meters, 800 meters. You're losing signal.
Bring
Take
it
it
back.
back.
Bring
Take
it
it back.
back.
Bringing it back.
But that ship, all the way down, and more walkway, stairs, more walkway.
And no other entrances to this thing? Just that one entrance?
Well, there's all the little holes in the dome on the outside. You could come in on any of the sides if you wanted to and follow these walkways and stairways down. They ring the entirety of it all the way around the ship.
Is any one of them different than the others?
Some of them are less rusted than the others.
Less rusted.
Yeah.
You should take those ones.
Yeah.
You're
the
heavy.
road, the road less rusted.
Yeah.
I think we should take one of those.
All right.
All right, you begin the descent down into this pit. And it's...
And make sure that we have a gun, like mount some flashlights on the guns. And
All right.
Find one in the go bag. Put it on the laser rifle.
yeah, I don't
It
know if
gives
the
you a
laser
little more
rifle will have a rail mount, but if it, I'm assuming it does.
It does have a rail mount.
Great. Those are universal.
I'm just scanning as I walk.
You kind of follow the same path as the drone for the most part, and you reach where that walkway is that leads to the ship. It's coming out of a control room. There's monitors and the like in there, but nothing is on. There's no power to anything. There's an old elevator shaft built in there. It also, no power, not on. And the car itself is not there, but the exterior doors are open, so it's just a hole that drops down into darkness. You cannot see the bottom. There's rust and dust on everything. There's a couple of skeletal corpses in the control room on the floor.
Has the meat been eaten off their bones? Do
They're
they have
really,
scrapes from those blade things?
really old bones. Give me a notice check to examine them, and you can see what you can determine.
Medical check as well.
Absolutely.
Beat it by 7.
You determine that one of them was shot and died about 1,100 years ago.
Shot by what?
A large caliber weapon.
This means that they were.
Forgot about my ability to eyeball carbon dating. Pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good skill.
It's the bones.
Lucky for you, you're Google.
You're Google. You do happen to find a old key card clipped to a tattered lab coat on one of the skeletal remains.
Take it!
Yes, totally.
It is eerily quiet down here. The only thing you really hear is the occasional metal sound from the creaking and your footsteps on the walkways.
I don't like it in here.
Can I
Not like this.
Can I detect any other noise or movement around me?
Not in your immediate vicinity.
How immediate is immediate?
About 100 meters.
Okay.
A quick go bag check-in question. I don't honestly know what weapons were available. What sort of thing am I currently holding in an uncomfortable and somewhat frightened manner?
A laser rifle, one of these fancy 7.42 high-tech laser rifles.
30 damage, 20 armor piercing.
Yep. And a buttload of shots.
Yeah. Much higher magazine capacity than a traditional firearm.
Yeah. Like
Decently
better
high-tech.
homes and gardens.
John, I have accessed facility schematics.
Very good, Tom. What am I looking at here?
Power is offline throughout the facility. There are turbines beneath the ship that will bring the power back online. Once this is accomplished, the ship can be assessed and possibly launched. I am not confident in the ship's integrity.
Very well.
Of course not.
Okay, so we got a place to possibly turn this place back on, but it might fall apart if we try to pilot it.
I guess that we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. In the meantime,
Yep.
Let's head for
Down you the rusted stairs you travel.
Patrick,
there are
go
several-
down the hole.
There are several parts in the walkways and stairwells where you have to, hop 2 or 3 feet where sections are missing and have fallen through. Or go back along the other side to take a different route because the stairs there are just completely gone. But you do manage to make it down quite a good pace, really. I mean, you've gone down almost as far as when the drone lost signal. When you detect movement, Johnstone, approaching from below and fast.
Okay, is it bipedal movement or is it
It's flying.
flying? Okay.
Damn
Very well.
cockroaches.
Is it one thing? Is it a big thing? Is it a small thing?
There
Is it
are 8 approaching flying objects.
flying.
50 meters,
Biological
40
things?
meters,
We got company, guys.
30 meters. And let's roll some initiative as
Probably
they come
hostile.
into view.
Game over, man!
Game over.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you.
That's good.
That wasn't
14.
14 for Mac.
That was
13. So 17.
17 for Patrick.
Oh, you
Man,
fancy
really?
boy.
I only have 12.
23.
Yeah, you did.
Wow. You are definitely going first there, Thomas.
Those aren't big enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have no idea what to do.
The 8 creatures
I bet you
coming to
use
you,
the
they
ones that
are
are-
substantially
Yeah.
larger than the males that you have seen. They're about 8 feet or so long with about a 15-foot wingspan on them. They have a slightly larger appendages and
So is it 18
slightly
feet long,
larger
you said?
heads. 18-foot wingspan.
Okay. And the
But
body
8 feet
is
long, the body.
okay.
Probably 150, 200 pounds heavier than the males that you have seen.
Ugh.
The room that we're in, are there any doors? Are there any
No, you're on
closets? Any-
walkways and stairwells ringing basically this huge body of a ship.
Oh, great. So we're out in the open. That's good. I like it that way.
Are they all coming from one direction? They're all together, right? As the
Yeah,
sound
they're
goes
all coming from below.
from below. Okay. Are they already upon us, or is they?
They're within about 30 meters of you, and we're starting this combat round with teams going
Do we
first.
still have any kind of explosive devices in the go bag?
Oh,
Buddy,
yes.
I got him for
100%.
days.
Okay, great. I just would like to borrow one for a moment and then forget about it and drop it.
Yeah.
I'll get you a new one later, I promise.
What did you hand Thomas for an explosive?
Probably just a grenade.
All right,
Oh,
one grenade. All right, the grenade drops from Thomas's hands. I will take an athletics roll to try and get it into just the right spot to go off, or a demolitions roll if you prefer to do that.
They are identical for me, and I beat it by 9.
Beat it by 9. Wow!
Whoa!
It is a great Great
I'm
throw.
loving Google Dice right now, guys. I'm using this every show.
Maybe you've watched too many people play Call of Duty or whatever it was, but you managed to cook the grenade just long enough to have it go off
That is very dangerous.
right in the middle of the drop and manages to hit 3 of them, splattering bug parts all over the sides of the ship and all over the walkway. It destroys one of the walkways. It doesn't seem to have damaged the ship's exterior, but you might not want to risk further explosions close to the exterior of a ship that you want
Right,
to
need
launch.
the ship to be flight worthy. Good reminder. Taking a note.
But there are only 5 of them remaining as we go to Patrick.
The second best explosives guy in the whole group. It is what it is. I'm going to do a poison flame explosive device.
Poison gas and fire. A lovely combination. Give me a demolitions roll, please, Patrick.
I know that skill. Come on. I rolled a 9, so I beat it by 9.
Hang on. Oh!
Max Pax Hacks, that's the facts, Jacks. Play sax snacks attacks hashtag hack attack packs got it.
Uh-oh, we've got a hack attack coming, boys.
Uh-oh. Duck and cover, everyone.
Thanks, Merc.
It's about to get real wet in here.
Speaking of duck and covering, there was no duck and covering for these poor bugs as that grenade goes off. And you managed, again, much like Thomas, to catch 3 of them. And while not completely blown to pieces, and therefore also not damaging the ship's integrity at all, the flames do burn their wings enough that they begin to plummet, and especially with that poison gas kicked in.
And I look down and go, oh no! Raid!
So do we just want to shoot these 2 guys that are still down there?
And that leaves 2 of them, and it's their turn next.
Just consider while they're attacking us. I mean, I think...
Attacking you.
Oh, of
Max.
course.
No, there's only 2 left?
Yes.
Oh, and also, because there was just an explosion, my drone shoots it. Because I looked it up, and the drone shoots explosions.
Yeah, will you go ahead and give me a shooting test for the drone as well?
I don't know what its skill is, but...
It's your skill.
it misses.
It misses. All right. It did fire an explosion, though. I'm still working out the physics of that, but someday, maybe when it's no longer necessary, I'll finally figure it out.
I just figured every time there's an explosion, it shoots it.
It's a glob of nitroglycerin, and then it hits something and it goes big. I don't know.
It's possible.
It's fireball?
Yeah.
What is your dodge over there, Mac?
It's 2.
All right, the first one does a dive bomb maneuver for you, trying to stab the little blades into you and carry you off, and misses. But the second one sticks its blades into your body and picks you up right off of that gangway and begins taking you down into the hole.
Bye, y'all.
20 damage, Mac.
That's fine. It's been real. Screaming.
Screaming.
I
like
don't
that.
feel the need to make our audio engineers deal with that, but I just want you all to know.
Yes, you are screaming. And it is also your turn, screaming person.
I would like to, taking just a very, very short moment to consider, and reacclimate myself with the situation that I'm now in, try and kick off of the side of the ship and launch us into the wall towards where one of the great walkways are.
All right, give me athletics for that if you're going to try and launch yourself off.
Do it. I'm gonna eat that moment of clarity we have because I don't want to die. You didn't need it.
He's going down the hole, isn't he?
Yeah,
I'm going to succeed by 2.
by 2. It is incredibly painful. But you do manage to kick to the side, and the blade stuck through you kind of slides free. And you fall and hit the railing and are hanging on to the railing.
Oh.
It kind of breaks and cracks, and then you fall down a little ways more, and then it swings down and slams against another railing, and there you are on another walkway about 40 meters further down than your friends.
Good.
You're pretty sure you broke a rib. 10 more damage.
Thank you.
Oh.
I'm still above
Wait,
my
was it
normal.
one of his ribs?
Yes.
The bugs don't have ribs. Oh.
Mhm.
It's not in
John
a
Stone.
All right.
I'm good.
So there's only one near me.
Yeah, it tried to
One left.
dive bomb him, and the other one grabbed him. You can still see both of them as they're not that far away.
You mean him and the other bug?
Yeah,
They're
he's
down
just
there?
40 meters down.
Okay.
You don't really have a problem
So-
with seeing in the dark, so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, screw this guy. I don't need to worry about him. I'm gonna jump. No. I mean this guy.
Okay.
The
Okay.
one guy that's up where I am. That's not me
Alright.
with this guy.
You're worried about the one attacking Matt.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm gonna jump down the hole.
All right.
Yeah, that's my first move. Jump down the hole. to
That's
where
just
he
movement.
is.
So what do you just like down to where he is, or straight?
Down to where he is.
All right. Give me an athletics test to aim that right.
Beat it by wait. Beat it by 6.
Beat it by 6. You leap down and
7. Sorry.
land where he just landed and may have broken a rib, but you're really, really heavy, and that walkway immediately busts free from your
Oh,
impact on it and
goodness.
sends you down into another walkway, which then breaks and sends you down into another walkway. And I'll take athletics tests from both of you to see how you come out of that.
Sure. Why not? I'm gonna fail by 4.
Failed by 4.
And make it by 7.
Made it by 7. Alright, you managed to grab hold of Mac and prevent him from plummeting over the edge, and grab hold of one of the walkways with one hand, but he's now hanging from one hand and you're hanging from the other. This pit going deep below you.
Okay.
John,
You still have an action left.
I just okay.
John, you've made it worse.
Yeah, worse is a matter of opinion. But it's perspective.
I am
Now-
now dangling. I was not dangling before. I
Well,
would
yeah.
like to get on the grate, please.
I've got you. You're not gonna fall. I have you.
Very strong
So
hands.
where I am, how much further down is there? A lot more down, or is there like a little bit more down, or
Oh, more than your 100 meter scan can detect.
that's a lot of down.
Yeah.
All right. What is there still one near us?
Yeah, it's about 30 meters. It's about halfway up between you and them. About 30 meters up, and then another 30 meters to them.
So do you go up or do you go down?
Okay.
You said down.
I do have no control in this situation.
Yeah.
It's all you.
You absolutely have no control.
Mac is spending a lot of energy trying not to panic more.
Okay. All right. Give me a second. I have an idea.
Oh, if this helps, your motion scanners pick up above where you were, a full 100 meters up, hundreds of smaller objects approaching from above.
Of course. That
We're
does help.
having-
Actually, thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
I'm still up.
Yes.
Is it nice up there?
Oh wait, shit.
All right. For now, I'm going to put him because I'm hanging like this, and I
Yep.
got him right. I'm going to put him on the landing.
Yeah, he weighs almost nothing to you, so it's
Yeah.
very easy.
I'm going to gingerly. I'm not going to slam him.
Aw.
At the same time, I'm going to pull myself up
Okay.
and just because I only have one move, so I'm going to cover him with my body until my next round.
All
You're
right.
still so gooey.
No, I'm not. I've regenerated and I'm all normal
Not
now.
all of it.
I am.
It's really gooey.
You're gooey.
I am now.
You're lucky I found more clothes.
Thank you for putting on clothing.
Let's go back to Thomas.
I'm just kind of disgusted right now. I don't know that I have much to offer.
You can't even see us.
What's still alive and kicking and fighting us?
Well, you've got one of those flying ones in your immediate vicinity, and you also are hearing something approaching from above. Lots of things approaching from above.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Yeah, they're definitely coming downwards, whatever it is now.
Patrick, any thoughts?
You know, like if you're a praying man, I guess
more concerned about being prey at the moment.
Incendiary grenade?
they don't. Yeah, the fire works out real well.
I recommend fire.
Hey, do we have any inflammatory devices?
With you?
Buddy.
Okay, I'm just going to assume that I've somehow Googled how to use this, and I will grab one of these inflammatory devices and try it.
For above or the one flying around to your present location?
I will focus on whatever's coming from above, because that sounds like a swarm, and
Yes.
I am, as an individual gamer, very not comfortable with swarms. So I really hate them. So.
They're so
That is
predictable.
understandable. So if you go ahead and give me a demolitions roll there, Thomas.
Oh, balls. What was my bonus?
Bonus is going to be 2.
I'm going to use my...
Your Patreon bonus? Your Patreon bonus is 5.
Yeah. Did you say there was another bonus?
Yeah, you got a bonus of 2 from Patrick.
Oh, thanks, Patrick. So with the bonus of 5 and of 2, I will make it on the dot.
All right. You managed to actually still keep your incendiary device.
I rolled the wrong dice. I rolled the wrong dice.
That might help.
Personally.
Roll the right dice.
See, it's not just me.
I make it by 4.
Make it by 4.
Yeah,
You keep
got
the
it.
incendiary
6
device
bonus for Patrick.
on one side and manage to get it on one of the stairways and part of the wall above you. So there's quite a large and growing flame on the walkway, stairwell, and wall above you. Hopefully that will keep something at bay, or at least disperse whatever is coming towards you quite a bit.
I have a question.
Shoot.
So Tom and Patrick are still up.
Thomas and Patrick are still up above you.
Okay.
Yep.
Both of us are down where we jumped.
Yeah, about a 40-meter gap between the two of you.
Okay. I think we could fight better together. Maybe you guys can jump down here and I'll catch you.
Chris's look said it all there for me.
They probably had parachutes in the ship. We should have grabbed the parachutes.
You understand that we're still human, right?
I think I was fine. I got stabbed.
You broke something.
What?
I seem to recall.
I'm just saying I can catch
What?
you.
I broke one thing.
You got stabbed?
By the bug.
I'm coming there. You son of a-
I knew that was gonna work. I knew that was gonna work.
Are these stairs any kind of like, is it just like stairways with...
Yeah, like a metal
bolted to the
stairway.
wall?
Yeah, bolted along the wall, rusted out. Some of them are missing steps. It's it's
Oh,
not in the
they're
best
rusty,
condition.
So we have tetanus issues going on.
Oh yeah,
This is-
absolutely.
No, don't worry. It's Martian rust.
The whole planet's right.
Great.
I have an idea.
Yeah. What is it?
I'm glad you asked. Hold on to the railing really tight.
Again, it's rusty. I just learned this.
You're gonna die of something eventually. You want it to be bugs?
Wait. Tactical gloves. I'm good now.
How are you not wearing those already?
I forgot I have my tactical sweater on. I wasn't thinking. I apologize.
What is this plan, Patrick? It's your turn.
Okay, so we get over to like the middle of the walkway, kind of measure where I am, in regards to my charge over here, the boy, and I send the drone over to shoot the supports at one end of the catwalk so it swings us down and we can just slide down the railing.
All right. Will you give me a shooting test for your drone, please? Using your shooting score.
Using my demolition score.
Oh yeah, it would be your demolition score, I suppose, if you're shooting an explosion.
Indeed. Let's see, 3 and 4 is 7. I beat it by a damn lot.
You blow the supports and swing this walkway down. So that's a good solid 20 meters of the 40-meter gap. And it impacts several of the crisscrossing walkways and stairwells and knocks them out of the way. You are barely able to hang on and are now halfway closer to your friends, and below the one flying thing, the flames above you are growing.
See, like 60 more feet and we're there, bud.
Just to confirm, we weren't ever planning on going back up. Is that true?
I don't think they've crossed that bridge yet.
Not right now.
Well, we're not there yet.
That's what the ship's for, right?
You guys drop down, I'll catch you.
He's real gooey. You don't want to do
You're
it.
gooey. Shut up.
I am now. I'm covered in your.
The,
I don't like this.
The flying bug that you managed to free yourself from comes back around for another attempt to go after you.
Try me. Come on. Round 2.
It flies right overhead. You manage to duck the little swinging blades that try and stab into you and carry you off. Kind of does a little spiral pattern. The one that you left behind flying above does a dive bomb. It's going to try and snag Thomas off of the walkway that he is hanging on to carry him away.
I would like.
I
to
still have my
object to
action for this round too. The drone gets its own,
Ah, yes.
so I'm holding it for now.
And it swings its little blades and misses because you're just swinging too fast on this walkway that's swinging down.
Still swinging? Wait,
Oh, yeah.
you like swing back at pendulum side?
Yeah,
What?
he only blew one of the connections away, so it didn't just
Oh.
fall.
Okay.
I mean, falling was not his option. He kind of wanted to swing down. At least that's the way I gathered it.
Yep.
Yep, okay. It tries to stab at Thomas and does not do so. You can still hear whatever it is from above approaching, though it seems to have dispersed around this flame, so it's going to take it a little longer to reach you. But you definitely can also hear it is on the other walls, like all the way around this thing. So not just the section you were climbing on, but across from you and on the other side from you, and maybe even climbing down the ship as well.
Yikes.
And you had a held action. We can either go to Mac or you use your held action.
Let's go to Mac.
Mac.
I want to shoot the bastard that stabbed me.
All right,
I like
give me a
that one.
shooting test against the bastard that stabbed you.
And I'm mad about it. That is going to be a success by 1.
Success by 1. These larger 8-foot ones don't have a dodge bonus while flying. They're not exactly really maneuverable
It's true.
pilots. Being
And this
big
is
bugs.
with the laser gun.
All right, that ignores 20 points of armor and does 30 points of damage, burning a hole clean through this bug, which then begins plummeting down below.
Bye, nerd.
You believe you have exacted your revenge, Mac.
Oh, God. Ow. Ow.
We go to John Stone or your held action.
So good.
John Stone.
John Stone.
Okay. Cool. So, how many adversaries are around us right now?
Well, you have the motion detector, so there's the one that is flying,
Right.
and there are several hundred approaching from above.
Okay. So I've got these guys kind of swinging back and forth above me.
About 20 meters up.
I've got one near proximity adversary.
Very
flying
close.
down.
It's the one that just tried to stab Thomas 20 meters above you.
All right. So I use my first action to zap that one with my static charge.
All right, give me a shooting test.
Beat it by 11.
Oof. You hit it directly. It more stuns it than anything else, but that means the wings immediately stop moving and it just falls right past you, down into the darkness. You can kind of hear a few squishy, crunchy type noises as it bounces off of things on the way down.
Very far down.
Good job.
Yeah.
Man, that's far down.
Well, they did say that these ships were designed to carry an entire colony.
Ugh, this is just raw and gross.
It was a colony of people and not of these things, right?
Yes.
Just to
They're supposed to be
clear.
colony ships to go and colonize planets.
Are there in his bag? Are there only guns?
Yeah, it's all modern. It's from home. It's Nick's go bag.
So no other gear, just guns.
Guns, a rubber ducky, explosives,
And one
a
grappling
grappling
hook.
hook.
A grappling hook. Thank you.
I still have it. Would you like this?
Yes, I would like
It
it.
is. Here you
Any
go.
fruit stacks?
So I'm gonna
I got those in my jacket. Hold on.
His blood sugar gets a bit low.
That is true.
So I'm gonna grappling hook these guys that are swinging to stabilize them so they can slide down the rope, and I'm just gonna hold it steady.
All
so they
right,
can-
give me an athletics test. John Stone getting some hero stuff done.
Beat by 10.
Beat it by 10. It is a perfect throw. You catch it in mid-swing, stop it from swinging back and forth perfectly, and it's lined up at just the right angle. Oh, look, we've got guests. Hi.
You
Ah!
can say hi.
What?
You can say hi. It's okay. Say hi right here.
No, don't leave. Come back.
They saw you now. They know you exist. So if we...
What? I'm not again. Don't leave. Come back.
Ah! I see the child has your grace.
Tiny human, come say hi, tiny human. It's,
Just invite voices.
he is.
Sounds like
Sarah,
one. Ooh, what?
Stay, go, show.
Stay, go, show? Is that how you talk to your child? Stay, go, show. Hey, what?
There it went.
Just come back up. They want to say hi.
People
Yeah,
whack-a-doty.
stand up, child. There you go.
Hello.
Hello.
You wave. There you go.
Oh, look at him. He's getting so big.
Hi, everybody. He's
What
a little
Eddie's doing?
bashful.
All right.
We're
whatever.
working on that.
That's all right. That's all right.
Quite all right.
I am too.
Wow.
It's okay.
It's cute. What do you feed it?
Introverts are hot. It's cool.
All right, so that was John's action. Now you do have the held action still, or we start a new round.
There's still bug attacking boy.
That one
No,
he
there's a-
shot, and the other one got static charged. But you are now stopped swinging, and there's a convenient rope going straight to John Stone attached to the bottom of this
I know.
section of walkway.
Nice.
In fact, you think you could probably slide right down it straight to him.
I'm doing it.
Nope.
All right, give me an athletics test,
All right.
Come on, man.
or if you have like acrobatics or something similar. That
No,
would
I have athletics. And I got a 7, so I did good.
All right, you
I
slide
beat it by
straight down
7.
and kind of land almost as his arms are like held on the rope, but you land across his arms, kind of like he's carrying you. Nice.
I give him the old Bugs Bunny kiss,
Fair
and I
enough.
say, "My hero," and then I hop down before he gets, too blushy.
Cyborgs are such fascinating creatures.
I'm still stuck up above during all of this, correct?
You have been stuck above so far, but we're going into a new round that you are starting in. The platform has been secured by John Stone, and there's a rope attached to it, which leads directly down to him. Patrick just slid down that rope into John Stone's arms, planted a kiss on him, called him my hero, and hopped out of his arms.
Now you got gooey lips.
No! It's been hours since my skin burned off. I'm back. I'm fine. I even have clothes on.
Whose turn is it?
It is yours, sir.
Oh, joining the rest of the party seems like the least wrong action to take right now. So I would like to do my best impression of what Patrick just did, minus the display of affection at the end.
Okay, give me an athletics test, please.
There's no social distancing on Mars.
Yeah, no social distancing required on Mars.
No.
I will make it by 4.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
buddy.
slide perfectly as well, landing in the arms of John Stone.
Then I kiss him on the face and say, "My hero."
And if I still have the ability to do anything else,
Yes.
what's he touching right now?
Here.
Well, I'm
He's
comforting you.
We gotta go over and do.
I'm
We gotta do this the
comforting
right
you.
way here.
I'm comforting you because I just.
Oh, thank you. I love that I have 2 angles on everything right now in 2 different time slots. So I've got basically real time on Zoom, and then I have Twitch showing me what everyone else is seeing.
You gotta love to see it.
Lovely, lovely. All right, you are still on walkways and stairs that you have now
Well, that was some kiss. It feels like a train is shaking the
Yeah,
whole place.
rumbling.
Whoa, rumble.
created quite a bit of
Can you feel the
distance.
power?
Created quite a bit of distance from the approaching bugs from above, but they are still closing the gap. Pressing forward,
Can we?
or
can
down
we,
in this case.
Mm-hmm.
All
Can we try
right.
the drone thing again to like send them away while we go down?
I think once we get down to the 1,000-foot mark, we can do that. We've already got it scouted below for a good bit still, right?
Yeah, until you lose the drone signal, you can send it up.
So yeah, we'll send it down further. See if we.
All right, you finally you go through several more of these walkways and are keeping a higher pace to stay ahead of this closing swarm. It's not moving particularly fast, but neither are you with all of the holes in the walkways, and it's a little worse and a little wetter down here the deeper that you get down.
See, I always heard that it's
Right.
better
Wet.
down where it's wetter.
Why is it wet?
Condensation that doesn't evaporate because there's not a lot of sunlight.
Condensation. Okay.
Yeah. It's also really smelly.
Hey, Thomas, can you set a rib? I would like.
Oh,
I can try.
that's right. You got a broken rib.
I do. I would
He's
like
got
to
a broken
make sure
rib.
it heals.
I can fix that.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, whoever.
I'll just reach over and kind of give it a little click.
You just recovered 10 health, Ethan.
Thank you.
Or Mac, sorry.
all right, good.
Somehow Patrick just seemed to reach out and repair a broken rib with the touch of his hand.
That's new.
Yeah. Are you gaining superpowers?
Don't know. Maybe.
Oh, now I'm next. You got touchy superpowers. Now I gotta get superpowers. He said I have a line though.
It is getting oppressively warm the deeper that you descend. It's also pitch black down here, and none of the light from above gets this far. All you have are your flashlights.
So it's dark, warm, moist, and smelly down
You reach the bottom of the stairs.
Full of bugs.
You've now traveled well over 2 kilometers
Well,
down.
we did it. Great explorers that we are. We finally found the asshole of Mars.
It's pitch black. The walls
Yeah, no
and floor
kidding.
are covered in thick slime down here at the bottom.
You fit right in.
Making your way across it, you can see thousands upon thousands of football-sized, well, you don't know anything to call them, but eggs.
What else would they be?
And among the eggs crawling around on the ground are about 1 foot long larval bugs, but they're very worm-like.
Look at the babies.
Yeah, they're just kind of, or like really giant maggots, what would also be a good description of them.
Look at it. It's kind of cute.
They worm along the ground. They're eating each other. And
Oh.
the ones that you get close to, try and like open mouth your feet as you walk by.
Get off.
It's pretty gross. They leave thick trails of slime all everywhere that they're moving through, and there are just thousands of them down here.
Yeah.
It is absolutely gross. And we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break, and we'll be right back with you guys after 5 minutes.
See you after the break, guys.
We'll be back.
Wash your hands.
Welcome back, everybody! Our heroes are knee-deep in bugs and gross slime.
Whoa. Is it knee deep? Is that how deep it is? Knee deep?
It's knee-deep in the bug larva.
Knee
What?
deep in the dead.
My legs are relatively short, so that does mean different
waist
things
deep.
to different people.
Yes. It is pretty gross, pretty slimy, really warm down here. It is really, really warm.
What do larvae excrete? Do they excrete things?
Oh, yeah.
We're soaking in it.
Yeah, you're rather soaked in it.
I
Wow.
don't
It's
like
pretty
that one either.
It's pretty gross. It's not fun at all.
What kind of sound does it make when we walk around?
Yeah, it's kind of sloshing, squishing noises. So the constant sound of the bug larvae crawling around and eating each
Okay.
other is
So there's
filling
that
it
too.
up. Yeah, it's
This is killing Chris. Oh God.
If production could find an appropriate sound effect, that would be cool.
it's squishy and nasty and gross and
So,
just
Just saying.
it's really gross.
Just saying.
That's
Thank you,
the
Chris.
biggest middle finger we've ever seen on the show.
Maybe a sound similar
I love
to,
that it's like a 4 foot, just the bird.
maybe the sound of a pot of macaroni and cheese being stirred, maybe?
Oh, that's good.
I don't have that.
Nothing? No? Okay. Well, keep looking.
He's done.
Oatmeal.
He's finished. You killed Thomas.
Just think about it.
Broke Thomas there. Moist mac and cheese.
Like if you dropped a handful of jam on the floor.
Larva and cheese. Yeah.
I love all these various versions of the sound effect. It is wonderful.
Can you hear these?
A little louder. Let's try that.
Can we boost that a lot?
We haven't heard any of them.
Oh, I hear that.
Oh,
Maybe.
I like that.
Okay.
I like the
okay.
squeals.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of gross. I kind of like it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Knee deep in the dome.
You are wading through them and you cross
What?
this
Wait.
floor.
Wait. Odie, are you eating some kind of gooey substance?
Is that applesauce?
It's
Are you
applesauce.
squirting something gooey into your mouth? What are you...
Not
Really?
This is not the
I am
appropriate.
self-medicating. To hell with you all.
Wait,
Yeah. But it's
are
the
we
same
there yet? We can start
consistency.
self-medicating? Now, hold on.
It's the same consistency of whatever we're walking in, Chris.
Please. No.
No? Okay.
All right, just saying.
Yeah, it is rather disgusting as you wade your way through all these grossness and football-sized eggs. Some of them are in the process of hatching or eating their way out of the eggs.
I am not going to be kind to these things. I'm sorry.
I kind of like them.
I want to hear the maggot popping sound when you really just put.
That one ate one of the others and now it's puking. That's just what?
Yeah. You squished several of them, stomped them, kicked them, whacked them with the butt of the rifle.
Smack them up, flip them, rub them
Thomas is walking with much trepidation through this landmine of disgust.
It is really,
Or
really
minefield of
gross.
disgust, I should say.
You make your way across this giant floor full of them and get to what looks like there's sections of an entire wall. It's these giant turbines built into the sides of the wall.
That's what we're looking for.
And they got a bunch of slime and eggs and stuff attached to them too. It's pretty gross, like everything is just built up over everything. Give me a notice check to see if you can locate the controls.
Oh, I can try.
Covered in slime and goop and worse. Oh yeah.
Beat it by 8.
Beat it by 2. My goodness. I've
All
made
you
one
happen
this
to
time.
notice the controls. So there's a very set of large manual levers set into a wall. It looks like they probably control those turbines.
Manual levers?
Yeah.
Control turbines?
Yeah,
Really?
like to turn them back on.
I'm gonna.
Throw a release or something.
Hey, don't just start grabbing stuff at willy-nilly.
All right. Well, you tell me when, and then I'm gonna pull the lever.
Hey, Tom, do we have any schematics that we know which one of these levers, or like I don't want to blow anything up.
This seems like a deeply unfortunate place, and yet it is still not the most disgusting sight I have seen of your adventures. Perhaps a hashtag metasurge will help you overcome this.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Eldon. Thank you. Thank you very much. I believe, John, that each one of the individual levers controls one of the turbines. All of them will need to be reactivated to bring power back online to the facility.
Marvelous. All right, kid, flip one.
You hit the first lever, and one of the turbines starts to spin free as though that lever was holding a brake of some kind in place.
Okay.
And just immediately gets spinning. Now, the eggs and things that are on it are just crushed and splattered and squished and fly everywhere as it immediately just begins rotating. Just launching slime all over the place.
I have never been more glad
I got some in my mouth.
to wear glasses.
You've had worse things in your mouth. Shut up.
Yeah, but not today.
That just happened.
Yeah,
That
thank
just happened.
Yeah, it did. One lever down.
Now, by the way, just realized as soon as we get the second or third one active, something's going to attack us. You know that, right? That's just how it goes.
Some's gonna wake up.
Great.
It's gonna hear all of the squelching.
The vibrations, the sounds.
Oh yeah,
temperature change.
that turbine alone is very, very loud.
And then we're gonna get the
Temperature
queen or like whatever the
Yeah.
bug royal guard is, and then they're gonna come bite us a lot.
Just saying.
I should get a breastplate.
You should.
Yeah,
Just because.
I got stabbed today.
I do recommend.
It's his first time.
Patrick, if you could
Being
fashion.
stabbed. You've been stabbed once. Ever.
This is the first time I've been stabbed by something more than
Thomas has
crazy.
literally been torn
Tiny
down by
little
machine gun
son
fire.
of a...
I would like to avoid continuing to get stabbed or shot or other things with a preemptive measure.
Oh yes, hang out with this group. That works great in that department.
I don't really have a choice at that point, so I might as well do the least damage to my body.
I'd like to recommend, Patrick, if you could either fashion or modify one of our current blasters into some kind of flamethrower, because I think fire will be useful coming up pretty soon. Just a hunch.
I can 100% do that.
Bam. Kid, flip the deck coin.
All right. Well, he is flipping levers. You go ahead and give me a roll for modifying one of those laser rifles.
I'm going to be using my gadgeteer ability,
I thought so.
just in case.
I'm gonna put the bandana up before I do it.
That's not going to help. But go
All
ahead.
right. You hit the second lever, and just like the first one, it crushes like the eggs mounted on it, and the larva crawling all over it. It is gross. Stuff flying everywhere.
Do you have any
It is
smashing
just
sound effects?
absolutely disgusting.
Egg smashing or,
Assuming
bug
that
crushing
I
sound
use
effects.
My repair skill on that.
By the time you're on the fourth lever, Patrick has finished modifying this laser rifle. It now fires a continuous beam. It's not necessarily a flamethrower so much, but sort of is in its own fashion.
But it's
because
like,
the laser's a lot hotter than a flamethrower.
Gonna be like a magnifying glass on an ant.
Yes,
hopefully.
but way, way nastier. Unfortunately, it now doesn't have the range that it had as a laser rifle, firing a continual beam. Tends to shorten the distance kick out.
Right. Well, you know.
Respectful. Alright.
Huh.
Still, you stay within short to medium range of this thing, and it's going to hurt.
Oh yeah,
Any
covering his
more
face.
levers to turn.
What is Tom doing?
By the time you pull the fifth one, the whole room is vibrating from the turbines moving. I can get a notice check from everyone, please.
Yeah.
Except for the lever pulling boy, he's busy.
I'm busy. I am right next to the noise.
Made it. Right on.
Perfect.
Beat it by 1.
All
I assume a
right.
0 is a 10.
Yes. I'm
And
guessing
this
whatever it
is
is.
one which seems appropriate given how I have chosen to.
Oh, I love it, Thomas. All right, the two of you see moving through the bug larva. There are
There
4
she
of
is.
those bigger flying ones, but their wings are folded on their back. It seems that they were buried underneath all the larvae and eggs and perhaps sleeping or resting or whatever it is that they do. So they have squished their way free and are moving
Or
towards you
having sex.
very aggressively.
How do we explain to them that we've saved their lives from being eaten by babies?
No, I don't think they care.
Okay.
So we're going to go into initiative, but for the first round of surprise combat, only the two of you will be able to act. But I'm going to need everyone's initiative anyway.
Ooh.
Hey, buddy.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad at all, sir.
I'll take a 20.
Nice.
I will take more.
Okay. And then more.
Yeah.
23.
23.
27.
27. Wow.
I
Oh,
rolled
I'm sorry.
a 12
no,
and
no,
an
no.
11.
I had 27 as well. Sorry.
27.
Ah.
My
God.
4 right here.
Thomas?
7.
That's okay because, you know, the surprise round, you're not going to be acting either. But both John and Patrick, who are acting the surprise round, both got a 27. So,
That's pretty good.
which one of you is going to take the go first on that?
John is faster.
John is faster.
He is faster.
That is
I
a
have
fair
to-
point.
yes,
John is
John
faster.
is just faster.
So there are 4 of them, yeah?
Mm-hmm. But they are not flying. They're kind of
On the ground.
moving along on the ground and not particularly fast. They seem to be taking their time where they put their bladed appendages and not stabbing the larvae or eggs as they're moving their way towards you. And
Oh.
going out of their way to not harm the babies.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, that's
So I
nice.
grab a baby and I'm like, hey, hey, I will kill this if you come any closer. I will, whoa, oh, shoot, wait. I will kill this. I will.
No.
You think it might be lost on them
I
with
feel
the...
obligated to point out, John, that if we understand their society correctly, the simple fact that that one was captured means it's meant to die.
There's that, and there's the obvious, the more than 100 that have already been splattered by the spinning turbines.
So why are they so... Fine.
Give me a shooting test, John.
I'll beat it by 11.
Beat it by 11. You completely blast one of these things. It flops over a few times, crushes a few eggs as it rolls backwards. The legs twitch and
Oh,
it
yeah,
goes
Ernie.
silent.
So are we saying then that the
Yeah.
stuff we're standing in is not conductive in any way?
I was gonna think of that, but I was like, well, we're standing in it, so that might not be good. So
You didn't really feel a charge from it, but it was a good 20 meters from you that you blasted. So
yeah,
it's possible.
and I aim specifically for the dude,
Yeah.
not the stuff that the dude was in.
Don't jiggle. That's how they know you're there.
Yeah, grab life by the baby. I like that.
That's what I'm doing for my action, in fact.
Yeah, explain this to me, Patrick.
I am scooping up a baby,
Okay.
and I am underhandedly, very gently tossing it toward them. And then I'm activating the detonator of the explosive device I placed in the baby.
Give me a demolitions check, please.
Grab life by the baby.
Baby bomb, really?
Okay.
Yes, a baby bomb.
I am going to use a meta surge so I can beat it by 10.
Baby bomb, boom, boom, boom. Baby bomb, boom, boom, boom.
Perfect. That is a critical success by using that
And
meta surge.
again, I will use poison and whatchamacallit.
Poison and incendiary.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. The detonation completely splatters the 3 advancing bugs remaining and also sets several of the larvae on fire, blows up dozens of eggs, and creates sort of one little, somewhat of a clear patch in the midst of this whole room full of slime and bugs and larvae and worse.
Are there any left?
Of the hostile ones?
Yeah.
No, he just killed the last 3.
Okay.
In the surprise round, no less. I'm going to put that out. Before anyone could even really do anything about it. In fact, before Thomas or Mac even were aware that there were hostile creatures, they were dead.
Come on, Ike, detonate the baby. Don't detonate the baby.
I liked Chris's little jingle for detonating.
That was
Quite
good.
good there.
It's quite nice.
At this point, you have finished pulling the last of the 8 levers. All the turbines are going, and individual little running lights start kicking on around you and going all the way up. Little individual lights alongside.
And now we can see all the scaries climbing down.
Yes, you can. The entire upper section, just a ring of those cockroach things is climbing down. Climbing down the ship.
Sex drone, go, fly.
And across from you
Sex
in
drone.
this
What?
chamber, you have a much better view of that elevator. Apparently, the one that was dysfunctional above is down here. The car is sitting down here. It's kind of at a slight tilted angle, but the lights are on it now as well.
On what?
On that elevator.
Oh.
The one that went up, came down from the control room. Yeah, that elevator shaft is. The car is apparently down here.
Wow.
All right.
Sitting nice, conveniently, with the power seemingly on
We should
as those
probably-
things begin climbing
I
down.
think that
I think we
should
take
get in
that.
there. Then yeah, that'd be good.
You might exceed the weight limit on your own.
No, it's gonna. Look, I am only like 400 pounds. 300.
Oh, I thought you were like-
400, 300 and some. I don't
My
know.
bad.
Not that heavy.
I thought you were like a ton and a half.
No, he's like I said, he's really close to 400 pounds.
Okay.
Very dense.
So I am going to set another device
Okay.
and make for the elevator.
All right, you guys dash across the room, through the slime, muck, and larvae, into the elevator. It seems to be keycard activated.
Well,
Who had it? Was it you or did you have it?
You have it.
Or did you have it? One of those.
Oh, Thomas
I
has
think
it.
he had it.
Oh, right, yes, this. Yeah, swipe left.
The elevator begins its slow ascent. It's kind of dragging a little because it's tilted in the elevator shaft, but it is going up.
Oh, I
Getting
give it.
sparks
I
up.
give it a go. Boom! I give it a good elbow to knock it back in alignment so it
Fonzie
goes up.
elbow.
Yep.
Give me an athletics test for the Fonzie elbow.
I do the Fonzie elbow.
If you had a skill called Cool, you could use it as well.
I beat it by 4.
Okay. You give it a nice swing and push it up. It's generating a lot less sparks and going a little swifter as it climbs up. Going up, but on the bad side of things, it's going towards the descending horde of bugs, which are also climbing all over this ship as well. And with all these lights on, you get a better view of this thing. I mean, it's more than 2 kilometers in height. It's 400 meters in diameter. There are 16 massive launch engines down here that are used to propel it. They look like they probably detach once they send the ship up past the atmosphere.
Makes sense.
And the entire cavern is, of course, filled with bugs. There are tens of thousands of them making their way
What
down
in the ill?
all over everything.
What in the
Son of a
god
yuck.
dang?
Many of the swarm make horrible jumping attempts towards the elevator car and careen off of it or hit the cables, which are now full of electricity, and get zapped into pieces like a bug zapper, splattering all over it. But they are just everywhere as it's passing off of it.
I wonder if production
I
has
set.
any-
I opened up the hatch and I set the drone on top of the elevator to fire at anything that moves.
All right, the drone begins opening fire while all over the top as well.
Build
It is
them up,
just-
break them down.
It is absolutely disgusting. It is blowing chunks of these things all over the place. And then the elevator slowly reaches the top, which is that control room where you found the key card initially. And the bugs at this point have turned around on the descent and they're now climbing back up, but there's still some up here. They're all over the place.
Run away?
The whole cavern is filled with them. You are at the point where there is a walkway into the ship, which now has an open door, which before it was completely shut.
Let's run for that.
Sure.
I like it.
I'm down.
It is somewhere else.
The lights on board the ship are flickering a little bit as you're going in. And there don't seem to be any bugs or creatures or slime or eggs inside of here once you're in these little hallways, which are much more man-sized, like for people to walk around in rather than a
You
giant
make sure
cavern.
that door is nice and closed.
The key card, in fact, closes the door back up.
It's a good key card.
But you can still hear the sound of them, echoing in the cavern chamber and climbing all over the ship as well. It is really, really gross.
Yeah.
You get onto the ship itself and reach where it's on a bridge. It says awaiting pre-launch process on a screen there, which is, pretty high-tech even to your standards compared to the stuff you've seen here in this metaverse so far. It is really, really low-tech.
All right, I'm gonna get to work.
Let's start figuring that stuff out.
Give me a couple of computers rolls, guys.
I'll give you a couple each.
You by 7.
I beat
Alright.
it by 14.
Yeah, buddy.
I rolled against my advanced technology
Yes.
and
Oh, I'll take that
beat
one.
by 8.
Amazingly, the entire team is both computer and technology capable and takes different stations on board this ship to start going through the pre-launch process.
Anything that's broken, let me know about soon.
It is charging up. Hull integrity registers at 37%.
Well, gotta
you
fix
fix
that
our
first.
Go get him, Captain.
Life support is functional. Thrusters are functional. Maneuvering jets are functional. But the grav drive for the tractor beam is currently offline.
And we need that. So
You will need that.
So Tom, what do we know about this grav drive? Not you, Tom. My Tom. In my head, Tom.
Analyzing schematics. The grav drive seems to have been manually powered down. There does not seem to be anything wrong with the drive itself. It will need to be powered up from the engineering section of the ship.
Oh, all right.
where's that?
At the bottom.
God damn it.
Away we go.
You can launch the ship without the grav drive, but you will not be able to use the tractor beam until the grav drive is enabled.
We need a tractor.
Here's a thought. Can I just pull out a remote control for the grav drive?
Yeah, unfortunately, there isn't a remote control for it. It is a manual start system.
Had to ask.
Good try and much appreciated. That may still come in handy for something else.
Thomas, that's an RC car controller. Put it back.
Pre-launch sequence is complete.
So do we launch first, or do we want to fix this before we take off?
I say we launch.
Yes.
Captain.
Yes.
Just because the bugs will be easier to
Impending
take care
doom.
of.
Bug doom. Wrong letters, consonants.
And you can hear them, on the outside of the ship.
I
whacking
feel
away
like
at
the
them.
engines will take care of the ones on the inside, and the atmosphere will take care of the ones on the outside.
How's the hull integrity?
37%.
Yeah, I mean, we should probably address that before we try to break the atmosphere.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going up top.
I'll go with you.
I grab my hammer.
I'll go with you. Number one, to protect you, and number two, because I can
Alright.
do stuff.
You make your way to some section of the ship. There's a lot of damage that you're reading on the readout. They're just in different spots. It's mostly just age and corrosion. There's not a tremendous amount. I mean, you have some newfound powers that might work, but there's not a tremendous amount to do about it other than reach these individual sections and regrow metal, essentially. You do believe the ship
Won't know if it's possible till I try.
You do believe the ship is capable of launch and flight without doing so. There just might be several corridors, decks, and sections of the ship that aren't accessible once you're in space.
Well, as long as we can get to the grav drive, I'll just make sure that route is clear.
We can
give
check
me a
the,
computer's roll to see if you can find a route.
we can check the schematics
Yes,
on the
John.
inside.
100%.
Tom. So, Tom, crunch some numbers. If you know
My best roll beat it by 8.
integrity of the ship, what's likely to fall apart first that might inhibit us from getting to the grav drive if we try to pilot it in its current state?
I believe the ship has a 63% chance of a successful launch in its current state.
All right, but are there particular parts that you anticipate being inaccessible or broken if we try to go ahead and launch before fixing anything?
The crew quarters on Section B and the long-term sleep quarters will be compromised.
We do not need those.
Are there any life forms in there?
No life forms presently on board except for yourselves.
That is good.
And the bugs.
All right, anything else we can handle?
On board, none.
All right,
None are registering.
cool.
It is a 2-kilometer ship. I cannot scan its integrity or its entirety, however.
Okay.
We're gonna find the queen in the engineering bay, right?
Oh, almost certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were a queen, that's where I'd hang out. That's where the only throne in the whole place is.
Or the bridge.
You're on
We're
the
just
bridge.
so high up though. And the
As far
bottom.
as thrones would be.
Yeah, but the engineering's gonna be next to the eggs at the bottom. Oh
It
god.
would be a good source of warmth, I would think.
It would.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bob the Builder. That's right. Pat the Junkie. Can we fix it?
Yes, we can.
When he asked for a fix, I don't think that's what he had in mind.
Yes, he is.
Are you going to launch the ship?
As long as I've got that route secured,
You do
I'll have to
believe there
fix.
is a route.
I'll have to fix one little hole breach somewhere, I imagine.
It's possible, but you seem to have a rather roundabout. It's not a direct route to engineering, but you can get there without doing any repairs at present.
All right then. Strap in, I guess. I don't know.
There are large seatbelt harnesses, and it's very like old style launch.
Hey, could you ask your buddy in your head if we're supposed to be wearing like spacesuits or something?
Hey Tom, is the hull integrity such that we won't be, atmospherically destroyed in some way? Do we have to fix anything that will, are we going to become depressurized or anything like
Vacuum
that?
suits will not be required unless entering sections of the ship that have been compromised.
All right, good. So we're good in here, guys.
Good. All right, begin launch sequence.
You hit the launch sequence, and an old like stereo track or something comes on, like somebody had pre-programmed this thing, and opening guitar chords to a familiar song plays out. It's Magic Carpet Ride by Steppenwolf. And the ship slowly starts to climb and punches through that dome that's just corroded in places and rips pieces of it off.
On a magic carpet ride.
And slowly, painfully, it rises through, so you can see little bugs falling away through the viewport that were hanging on to it. I think everybody hit the 20-second mark.
I'll make you wait.
I think we hit the 20-second
Guys,
mark.
they're gonna take it down if we keep this up. Why is it always you?
It's kind of always me.
The ship launches higher and higher into the atmosphere. It's shaking a lot. You hear a couple like metal objects tear free at different points.
That's probably fine.
Fall through and plummet to the earth below. It creaks and
We can fix
moans
that.
and rocks,
The
but
Mars?
slowly accelerates into the atmosphere. And your comm you've been carrying around from Quaid crackles a little bit and kicks on. Well, fuck me. It actually worked. It actually fucking worked.
Yes, fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, get into orbit. Our troop transports will rendezvous with you. We're going to have to make it quick before the capital ships get within firing range. And make sure that tractor beam is operational. We've got a moon to steal.
Yeah, about the tractor beam, haven't quite got to it yet.
We really, really need that.
Yeah,
Yes, we are quite aware.
we're not the only passengers currently.
What do you mean?
Well, there are some.
You remember those bugs that you
Bugs.
told us about?
Larvae.
Yeah.
It's them.
Bugs are on the ship.
Probably
It's a nest of
A
sorts.
whole bunch of them with a queen.
Thousands of eggs,
Yeah.
that type of thing.
It's bad. It's bad.
And you're still alive?
About 3.5 feet of shit at the bottom.
We're very stubborn.
You're going to want to get that tractor beam online. Until we can connect with Phobos during its orbit, we won't have enough velocity to outrun the capital ships, and they will rip that thing to pieces.
Got it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we're on it, right? As soon as we break Atmo, we're gonna start
Alright.
walking around like dumbasses.
How much time do we get to Phobos, by the way?
You're going to have about 8 minutes.
Oh, well. We moving fast, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right.
We have 8 minutes to fix the tractor beam.
You have 8 minutes to get to the tractor beam and fix it.
Is there an elevator?
It's not broken.
on-
It's just not turned on. No big deal.
You just have to-
Okay, well, we should move in that direction then. And since I'm not piloting the ship, I guess I'll be one of the ones to move.
All right. Well,
As soon as you break
I don't drive.
atmosphere, it is safe to move around the ship without getting, planted against the side by the G-forces, and you're able to start making your way towards engineering. Most of the ship is in really poor shape.
do I need to stay and actually pilot the ship?
You can set it to maintain an orbit.
Done.
Great.
Orbit.
It'll last for that 8 minutes, and then it will, hit Phobos and be ripped into pieces.
Got it. Got it.
Okay. No problem. No problem.
So most of the sections of ship that you pass through are ruined. Some parts are completely collapsed. Little larval bugs are around all over the place and in different spots. And some of them have passed their larval stage and are like 1.5 foot long to 2.5 foot long cockroaches.
Nope, not allowed.
But they, skitter away from you at full speed anytime you round a corridor or
teenagers.
open a door. They definitely seem to be
Is that electric guitar?
avoiding you.
That's my laser gun.
Huh.
You make your way through numerous sections, having to do a couple like crisscross type turns and turn back around to follow this route that Patrick has secured ahead of time. And you make your way into engineering, which is by far the largest part of this ship. And it's 2 football fields in size, just for this chamber that it's held in. There are the huge portions of the magnetic drive are down here. There are also some of the smaller ones which seem to be powering the ship as it is flying and maintaining the running lights, and banks upon banks upon banks of batteries, like walls of batteries.
Ooh. That's nice.
And then there are eggs and eggs and eggs all over everything in here. Lots and lots and lots.
Would you
of
say
eggs.
clutches?
Clutches?
Clutches and clutches.
Clutches of.
This ship sucks.
And I'm going to need
Yes!
initiative as
Omelets.
8 of those flying bugs descend from the roof of this engineering chamber to attack.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, really?
12.
12.
18.
9.
What?
Yeah.
How does this
Wait,
happen to all of us?
is this initiative?
It is.
Yes, indeed.
27.
20. Wow!
Please calm down. Leave some.
And I don't know what to do.
You are first, Thomas. There are 8 of those horrible flying creatures, lots and lots of eggs.
I did have a 7 last time. I do want to point that one out. So
You did. The eggs are also substantially larger than the football-sized ones. These are, I don't know, like those giant oversized beach ball size.
So we have so there's 8 flying insects and a bunch of eggs.
Yes, big
And-
eggs.
I just want to get to the stupid. I just want to go to the tractor beam.
There's a large engineering core. There's a huge, like, dark mass that has surrounded it.
What do you mean a dark mass?
Like, grotesque ridged. It's almost segmented.
Geiger-esque, would you say?
Yeah. And it's definitely moving.
Like a big alien queen? I don't know.
Maybe. Could be queenish in nature.
Maybe it's the daddy.
Daddy's never around. Dad never around.
Okay.
All bug dads are dead.
This might be a mistake, but you tried anyway because why not?
I tried anyway.
I would like to reach into the void and pull out some sort of power armor lift device thing, all Sigourney Weaver.
You
I'll be honest, I like to
presto
pull
that
it out,
into
but
existence.
that
You
seems like going too
presto
high.
an alien's loader into existence?
I mean, I honestly would rather have a full-on mech, but I feel like I can get away with a loader easier.
The loader would fit in here.
You very much have a loader pulled out of nowhere.
Okay.
Make
I'm
sure
gonna
you
get
call it a
started
bitch
just
before you
saying
punch
fine.
it.
The hell? What are you saying?
Make sure you call it a bitch before you punch it.
I was gonna say, bring it, bitches. It's on.
There are
And Thomas
rules.
is on board his own mech loader.
And imp in my
You
head,
have to-
if it does bleed acid, Patrick will probably try to take it.
I like what you did there. All right, I have a 21 for the flying ones next. They're going to move in to attack. 2 of them will be going after each of you.
Boo!
2 of them make dive bomb attempts on John Stone. One of them even managed to physically impact you, but the blades just kind of slide along you and cut open your fake skin and reveal metal that does no actual damage to you. But now that you have a little experience, you duck and roll as the 2 come for you
Nope.
and get between them without getting stabbed or picked up off the
I
ground.
made this mistake once.
Following Mac's movements, you managed to do the same, Patrick, and are not stabbed and
Whoa.
grabbed as well.
That is really lucky.
And then 2 more of them move towards trying to pluck Thomas out of the cockpit of his loader. And they end up just kind of swarming around it and stabbing at the area around Thomas and hitting the metal. Not one of them able to land a successful hit. I wish I was rolling barbarian hit points with those ones, because those are just a lot of 12s. That's a lot of 12s. John, you're next.
All right.
Good Master Stone.
I can I think in the past I've been able to.
Kamehameha. I mean, that would be cool.
That would be pretty cool. Pretty balling.
Emanate sound frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna see if I can run through a spectrum real quick to see if I can find one that irritates or confuses them.
Give me an advanced technology roll there.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
No way! Missed it by 1.
Have you used your Patreon bonus yet?
No, I haven't.
Do you want to use your Patreon
I
bonus?
will. Why not? That's a +6.
Yeah.
So you'll beat it by 5. That
Yes.
is a success. You managed to find a frequency that seems to be very disorienting to them. They're going to get their dodges penalized by 2 and their attacks penalized by 2 as long as you are continuing to emit the frequency. That is
Yes.
one of your 2 attacks. What do you do with the other one?
Fantastic. So they're still swarming around me.
Mm-hmm.
I quickly, because you said they don't maneuver all that.
No,
weight.
they're kind of clumsy,
Okay.
especially when flying.
So I grab one, and I beat one dude with another dude.
Smashing a bug with a bug.
Yes.
All right, give me a fighting roll, please.
Beat it by 8.
Beat it by 8. You grab hold of this 8-foot-long monstrosity and swing it at the other one. And when you impact, the leg breaks free in your hand, so you're still holding onto the leg as you launch the 2 into each other, and they bounce across the ground. One of them's wings is completely mangled, and it lays there on the ground, limp, while the other one crawls to its feet, -1.
Very good.
I would have done more damage with that. Oh.
You killed one of them with the other one. That's pretty good.
You did kill one of them and ripped the leg off of the other. It will go to 13 next here, which is going to be the queen, which uncoils from the large middle section of engineering there. It is
good.
looks like a 50-meter version of the larva, but covered in plates across its whole body.
Oh, it's
There
gonna
are
be
4
so
huge blade-like pinchers around its, what you might think of as a mouth. It's hard to say.
It's maw.
Yes. And thousands upon thousands of tiny little legs that propel it across the ground or along
It's got some
things.
millipede.
You're trying to make these bugs look gross, but I just want to be all of their friends.
And it lets out the most horrid metallic screech.
Metallic.
Like metal shearing against metal. Except really, really loud. Really loud.
She's got a good voice.
Yeah.
I think she's got a future in the entertainment business.
And we're going to go after the largest target, which is going to be the guy in the power loader suit.
No problem. Just peeing myself a bit.
That's okay. The loader's already yellow.
He does have a point. Oh, now I would have a success, but am penalized by 2 because of John Stone and his annoying frequency sound being set out.
All I'm picturing is Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, that's basically
Making that noise in the That's
So
the one.
even with that penalty, my success is by 1, but Thomas has a better dodge bonus than 1, so that is
Very
not going to
nice.
hit him, even in a power loader suit. But it does knock Thomas backwards and makes him slide across the ground from the impact as it propels into him,
On
but
all
is
the
not
goo.
able to grab hold of him and rip him free of the cockpit. Mac, you have a 12, you're next.
All right. So the assumption that I'm making is since these are flying creatures, they're going to be easier to hit with something like a shotgun. So I'm going to take my movement to run and dive behind a desk as cover, reach into the go bag,
Desk.
detach a scope, shatter the front lens, and try to affix it to the front of the laser gun.
Wow. Go ahead, kid.
All right, give me a repair roll.
Sure. Do I have that one? Who knows? But even if I don't, I can still roll it like it's a 10. And I can succeed by 1.
You have modified your laser rifle with a broken scope attached to the barrel.
It's a scattergun now. It's great. I'm shooting flying bugs.
Patrick, you have a 9, you're next.
Ah, it was bound to come to me eventually. Well, I think I'm gonna go all Rambo. Pull my hat real tight around, make sure my goggles are affixed, and I go under. Making a covert ops roll to stealth swim my way over to the gravity, to the gravity.
To the slime and eggs and goop.
Yep.
Okay.
Ugh.
Goop swimming. I like it. Give me a covert ops.
Hey man, I was an EOD guy. I don't care about swimming through shit. It's fine.
Keep your mouth closed at least. You don't want to.
Yeah, not my first nasty rodeo. So
Give me a covert ops roll over there, would you?
I will. That is a 12. My covert ops is a 14. So I beat it by 2.
Patrick drops down into the slime and disappears in the slime and eggs.
We lost Patrick.
He's
We're not getting him back.
He's fine.
No, he's gone.
No, he'll be alright.
No
And
one
we will
could
go
survive
back to
that.
the top of the order with the 27th floor Thomas in close combat with the
How far
queen.
away is the queen?
Trying to eat you out of the cockpit of your power loader.
You're on your back, by the
Oh,
way.
perfect. So where, like, how are we physically in space together right now?
She's kind of pushed you back almost as far as the entryway of engineering, having rammed into you with her tail end still coiled around the grav drive.
Okay, so her tail is away from me, and it's her nasty, pointy, sharpy teeth thing in my direction?
Yes, trying to eat you out of the cockpit of the power loader.
Okay, I would like to take the 2 arms of the power loader and just impale
Yeah,
the 2 sides
cockpit.
of the head with one and the other.
All right, you can give me a fighting roll, or you can attempt some form of machine operation, whatever you feel better at attempting.
I mean, all of my numbers are the same.
I know
So
you have that thing going for you.
But I'm gonna nail this puppy, and I'm gonna blow my bonus, so I'm gonna crit this, but make it by 11.
Making it by 11.
Wow.
You
Ooh.
stab both hands of the power loader into this thing, and it screeches. It's so much louder with it being right there in front of you that your ears are probably going to be ringing for the next couple of days from
When
it.
I get a chance, I want to try and rend.
In addition to it screeching that loud, whatever it has been eating or consuming, chunks of it kind of fly out of its mouth as it's screeching all over your face and body, and along with its gross blood that's trickling down the arm. All this gross blood that is trickling down the arms everywhere and just covering you in this goop, but it is still struggling mightily on the end of your loader.
I got
hands.
you! I got you, Rick! I'll take you down! Downtown! Aren't you glad I'm not opening stuff your robots right now?
The remaining flying bugs will be acting next, of which we're going to
He
have.
looks like Daredevil season 1.
Does look kind of like Daredevil season 1. We're gonna have 3 of them
I
are
feel
gonna
like
be
that
going
hallway
after you,
fight would've
Matt,
gone down
and
way
4 of
different.
them are gonna be going after you, Johnstone.
Bring it.
This is bad for me.
I have a success by 1 and a success by 1. What is your dodge?
2.
You are able to do this little roll maneuver that you've sort of perfected and use
You're
one of these
welcome.
engineering consoles to keep them off you. There are 3 of these big bugs trying to kill you.
Mac has played a lot of Dark Souls.
I have a success by 3 against John Stone. And that's it. 1 success by 3. What is your dodge, John Stone? 0. It does manage to hit you. This would be a 30 point of damage hit. But I don't think that goes higher than your 40 points of armor.
Correct.
So the blade sort of snaps and the tip of it breaks off as it tries to impale you, but it cuts away a lot of your synthetic skin.
Yeah, grow back.
And that puts it at John Stone at an 18.
By the way, Tom told me it's not entirely synthetic. By the way, there's
No.
part of my actual
Part of your DNA is used.
Yeah.
You got some.
Okay.
It's grown.
Now you said that the queen, its tail was to wrap around the drive.
Yeah, and that thing's 50 meters long. It's big.
Good grief. That's big and disgusting. The area we're in.
About the size of 2 football fields.
Whoa! And what
Engineering is huge.
and so it's a metal ship. All the pieces. It's a
Yeah.
metal ship. Any panels?
Super metal.
All kinds of them.
All kinds of panels.
Space metal.
Good. One near me, maybe.
Sure.
Okay.
Martian iron.
Good. I'm gonna rip off a panel because I like ripping off panels, as we know. So I'm gonna grab a panel, rip it off, and then I'm gonna jump in the air and use this panel as an axe to cut through the tail that's holding onto the drive.
Look.
Cutting through the tail. All right. Give me an athletics check followed by a fighting check.
I like it.
Okay, beat that athletic check by 3.
You rip a panel clean off of one of the consoles near you.
Oh, and I actually missed the fighting by 1.
Miss the fighting by 1. You leap in the air. You land on this thing's tail because it's huge. But that's hardened shell on the outside. You were not prepared for it to be that sturdy. It kind of just bends the metal as it impacts and doesn't get into the flesh of the creature. And it is the queen's turn. She is being impaled by loader claws on her face and is not in a particularly good mood. And then you just tried to stab her in the tail end. Because she can't bite onto Thomas, she's going to be using her tail this round, uncoiling from the turbine and trying to put a 4-foot-long spike through your body with it.
What? How rude.
And I have a success by 8 on that one.
By 8?
Mhm.
Get out. All
In
right.
fact, I'm going to use my 4-point Patreon bonus and make that a success by 12 to be a critical success.
Son of a...
That's a bad way to be.
All right.
And so that will make it deal double damage. So that's going to be an 80 damage hit to you, John Stone.
Oh goddamn!
Damn.
Not a problem. I'm good. I'm
But-
good.
You do have armor, which you should from that first.
Right, my armor is 40.
So
you
that
take
means 40 damage goes through.
No.
Oh.
Because, well, yeah, technically yes. But I was given 40 at the beginning by the
So the
Beginning.
Patreon, so you are now out of Patreon hit points.
so I'm back at my regular level of hit points.
It is still a solid blow. The tail goes through the metal of your body. It is not the most pleasant experience of your life.
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed about it actually.
It really.
I'm not
hurts.
enjoying this at all.
We're gonna go to Mac with a 12 next.
Sorry. Now that it is exposed, the tractor beam power core, can I see the sort of manual restart function on it?
Not particularly. You didn't really familiarize yourself with it on the way
Okay.
down like Patrick did.
That's fair. I'm not gonna be all that much good over there. So least I can do is do one more of those combat rolls that I've been perfecting over the course of this adventure, and try and get all 3 of the, or at least more than one of the big flying bugs that were accosting me into what Mac is gonna assume the cone that they've created is.
All right, go ahead and give me a shooting test as you fire your modified shotgunny laser thing, whatever it is.
I am going to succeed flat.
Succeed flat. The beams fly out and they kind of are going in all different directions from the front of it. It's less shotgun and more random multi-beam laser. Some of them coming painfully close to some of your friends in the process.
Kid, what are you doing?
Working on it!
But you do manage to...
About the skill set.
You do manage to heavily damage one of them that is flying and seem to kill it, and the one that's crawling across the ground that John ripped a leg off of one of the beams hits it even though you weren't even pointing in that direction and kills it.
I think this could work with a little more refining.
You're not really sure if it just fires randomly or what, but
This requires
it
more
wasn't
testing.
exactly accurate to
So,
shoot.
just to get something straight, even though Thomas double impaled that thing in its head, it's still
It is
fine?
still
It's
very much
very
alive.
big. It's very big.
It's quite
That was
large.
okay. Interesting.
My
Very
main
much.
goal, honestly, was just to keep the big, sharp, pointy teeth from being able to big, sharp, pointy teeth me.
Which he has done. It can't sharp pointy teeth him. It's only able to use its tail right now,
All right.
which it used on you.
Yeah. Can't use it while it's stuck in my chassis.
Patrick, you have made your way across the room over to this turbine, covered in slime and goop, and pushing aside these things that are moving around the eggs. And just as you were getting over there, the big mass that was surrounding it uncoiled and moved away, and stabbed John Stone.
All right.
You are in the clear.
I slowly raise myself from the goop.
No, dramatic.
Patrick just appears out of nowhere from the goop, covered in it. It's really gross looking.
I didn't know Patrick was the Swamp Thing. This is new.
Put in the, sequence, the code, whatever,
You have
to
already
start that
familiarized
grab
yourself
drive.
with it, and you begin to start up the grab drive.
I spit out a whole bunch of crap.
You probably caught something, but you have before. So.
Yeah. It's counteracted by the other
Stuff.
And the
multitude of
grab drive
diseases.
begins to turn on and fire up. The tractor beam should be online shortly. Anything else, Patrick?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
While I'm doing that, the drone also pops up.
Is it also slow and dramatic?
Yes, slow and dramatically it pops up, but where it pops up is like right next to John Stone, and it takes a shot at that tail.
All right, firing at the bladed tail.
Tail shot.
Give me a demolitions roll for your drone, please, as it shoots an explosion.
He made it by 4.
Made it by 4. You severely damaged this tail, and in fact, the blade section is kind of hanging on by some threads of skin and tissue and whatever connective
And then it
fibers
slowly
has.
lowers itself back into the goop.
And John, you got covered in some of the goop and blood and from the inside of that creature as the tail was
Sure.
hit with the
Yeah.
explosion.
Yeah.
It was really, really grotesque. And in fact, the tail exposed like that, you can see like one of those like beach ball sized eggs, like as though it was on the way out.
Wow. That is gross a lot.
Yeah.
Could it use them like a gun?
It is.
That would be
pretty
hilarious. It
And then
shoots
we're going
its
to go
babies
back
at
to the
people.
top with Thomas at 27, holding the head of the giant alien queen.
Remember, if we kill it, don't blow it up. We can probably extract slurm from it.
Oh, that sounds delightful. I'd like to make an attempt to
Am I
try
the only
and
Futurama fan?
No, it was good.
move my arms apart.
Separating the arms and the head from the body of the queen.
Going for the rend maneuver.
Go
Yes,
ahead and,
I don't want to pull them out, obviously, but in opposite rending type directions.
I understand the concept. Go ahead and give me a roll there. I know all your skills are the same in that department, so I don't even have to name what it is.
Pulling pork.
I will
Rend
get a
skill.
4, beat it by 4.
Beat it by 4. There is some breaking and cracking of the outer shell of this creature as you move the hands. And once you really get a twist on them, several gouts of its bodily fluids just completely soak you in the cockpit.
I'd just like to point out that later on I will be using my ability to summon a large bottle of Purell.
And you break the head
That won't help.
free from the body, which then the rest of it just kind of slumps and goes limp underneath.
So is it dead?
Nah.
But you're still
Take
holding
that,
on to the
that's-
head.
I'll be holding on. Sorry. Got it
That's
right.
not inaccurate. That goes to the flying bugs next, of which there are still.
comatose.
Yep, there are still 6 of those alive. Excuse me, 5 of those alive.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them are still going to try and get you and your strange, erratic shotgunning pattern.
Erratic.
That's
It is
why I
erratic.
prefer erotic shotgun patterns.
You're right.
Yeah, they all look like dicks, but they get the job done.
I have a success by 6 from one of them.
Whoa!
I can't do anything about that.
20 damage as it impales you with one of its bladed forelimbs.
Oh, I got stabbed again. I don't like that. No bueno.
And 2 of them go after you, John Stone. Of which I have a success by 5, but they only do 20 damage, so it does not go through your armor.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm getting mad now. We're winning, but we're still getting hurt. Kid's been speared again.
The kid has been speared again.
My other kidney.
I got speared.
And it is your turn, John Stone.
I am running out of
So the queen is
kidneys.
dead, yes?
Long live the queen.
It's not moving.
The queen is not
Okay.
your problem.
Well,
And
it kinda
Thomas is holding on to the head, which is not attached to the body.
I found something.
Is it head-like?
Yes.
Yes, the head, which has been separated forcefully from the body.
Okay.
And more of that gross fluid is still pouring out of the neck.
How many
Does it taste
flyers are still active?
You'd have to ask Thomas.
How many flyers are still active?
5 of them.
5. Okay. So what's wrong with the kid? Is the one still trying to kill him, or 2 of them are still trying to kill him?
3 of them are still trying to kill him. 1 of them just stabbed him.
All right. So the body of the queen slumped.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 1 stabbed. Okay. So the one is the one attacking him now.
Oh yeah, there were 3 that are attacking him.
So I take the piece of tail that was in me.
Oh yeah.
Because he blew most of it off.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I take that out of me and throw it at the one that's trying to eat him.
Give me an athletics test.
Please.
John Stone doing some action hero stuff.
Do not beat this.
Oh well, I'm good.
I have already run out of kidneys. This is the second time I've been stabbed.
Beat by 6.
Beat it by
Did you
6.
say you've run out of kidneys?
Yeah,
Well,
You
fixed the other
impact
kid.
it
that's right.
solidly and shear it almost completely in half from the thrown
Whoa!
blade object. And Mac, you are just covered with bug guts.
Now, were there 1 attacking him or 2?
There were 3 attacking him.
Okay.
There is now 2 attacking him.
All right. So the next one is attacking him. I static charge him.
All right, give me a shooting test on that one.
Superhero static charge.
Beat it by 8.
Beat it by 8. You blast that one completely out of the sky. It collapses to the ground. The legs folded up like it ran into a giant bug zapper.
It's an energy. You gotta find an energy weapon sound.
It was super weak. My bad. My bad.
It's not a concussive weapon
That's
or a
okay.
projectile
That's
weapon. It's an
okay.
energy weapon.
It's all right.
It's a bug zapper.
Now the queen would
Yeah.
go next, but the queen is dead.
Okay,
Hey!
he's dead.
Yay!
He said it with his mouth
I
words.
believe in the realm of the bugs, this does make me the new queen.
Mac, you're next with the 12.
That is bug law. So there's 1 left.
There are 3 of them left.
There's 1 left
One of
that
them's
is
attacking
currently
you.
giving me any trouble. All right, kids. I got 1 more good combat roll in me. So I'm going to take it, try and land directly underneath, and then shoot directly upwards.
Very close range with the improvised laser shotgun.
Yeah, I don't want to shoot any of my friends, because I almost
Okay.
did last time.
Shooting test.
Buzz off. No. Absolutely not. That is a 17, and I need much less than
Do you
that.
have anything?
I don't have
No,
anything,
you do
no.
not, but it does manage to just completely disintegrate the scope on the end instead of actually firing and sending bits of hot metal all over the room. And you're pretty sure the laser rifle's toast.
Well, what are you going to do?
Patrick,
Yes.
it is your turn.
Is it on?
It is on and functioning. The grab drive is online.
All right. That's good news. And there's, what, 5 of these buggies left, you said?
3.
3 buggies.
One of them trying to kill Mac.
Oh, that's not going to work. No, we're not going to let that happen. The one that is on Mac, I am going to jump on its back and try and pull off its wings in a rage.
Give me a fighting test.
This is not my best score.
I know it's not.
But I don't care, because I still beat it by 3.
Beat it by 3, and it has a penalty of 2 currently right now because of the frequency being emitted by John Stone to
All right.
distract them. So you land on the back and begin pulling and ripping.
I use
at
my
these
Patreon
wings
buff to make it a critical hit.
Yeah.
and rip the wings clean off of it,
Go ahead
causing
and
it to plummet to the ground beside Mac, where it spasms a few times before going limp. Nice use of a Patreon buff. And we're back at the top of the order with Thomas. There are 2 of the flying bugs remaining. You have the head of the alien queen in your power loader
Pulling the
hands.
head of a bug.
Yes!
Here is your queen.
Give me an athletics test.
Here lies the usurper's cursed head.
Make him 11.
It is a perfect shot. It is right when it's
That's
in the
pretty
arc
good.
of a turn, and it just steers right into it and flies into the mouth, because the mouth is still open with the blades. And part of its body makes it through because it's not connected to the rest of it anymore, but the rest of it stops where those bladed appendages are, and then just gets sheared off of it, legs and wings falling, landing in a grotesque pile on the floor,
I think this is animal cruelty.
leaving
I
only
gotta
a
be
single...
honest, it's really nice to kill something that isn't humanoid for once.
It does have a point. Leaving a single bug left, and it is its turn, and it is going to fly straight towards the power loader gentleman who just killed its queen and try and rip him out of the cockpit. And I have a success by 0, penalized by 2 because of John Stone, makes it a miss. John, you're next.
Cool. So I still have that panel that I tried to chop the tail off with before. It's like laying next to me,
Yes.
right? So I'm gonna grab that panel. I'm gonna chuck it at the one that's attacking Thomas over there.
All right, give me an athletics test.
Beat it by 4.
You throw a several 100-pound sheet of metal through the air where it impacts this flying bug like an oversized fly swatter on an oversized bug.
Boy.
Smoosh.
Now the only thing moving in here is you.
Did you just say spoosh?
Yep.
I want to know what's going on in eggs 2 and 3.
Nothing shortly.
There are a lot of beach ball sized eggs in here still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Well then,
We're gonna
it-
clean this place out real good.
are the eggs are the content still in goop form or in larva form?
They're in goop form at the moment. They're developing, and they're not developing like the little ones were. They're not forming that kind of a shape inside.
Cool.
Great.
So I'm going to use with my second attack. I'm going to modify the frequency that I'm emanating out to see if I can find one that'll crack the eggs.
You're gonna burst the eggs with the frequency. All right, get an
Yes.
advanced technology roll. I like it.
How is that advanced technology? They're eggs. How advanced are eggs?
You're using your advanced technology to do it.
Oh, okay,
See,
fine.
that's why it's an advanced technology.
Also, you don't have biology.
Also, that's a critical.
Yeah, I beat it by
You just rolled
13.
2 ones.
He rolled 2 once.
Yeah.
2 ones. All of those giant beach ball sized eggs detonate like grenades, but without any of the shrapnel or fire, and cover everyone
Duh,
in
Thomas.
goop,
Oh.
including all the walls and the ceiling and the floors.
Oh.
Every single one. Just exploded goop everywhere. Now you're not alone in being covered in slime and goop. Everyone is covered in slime and goop.
Mm-hmm. And we're all just bathing in it like hot models. Just.
You know, sucks to be here.
Oh, it's so gooey. Dramatic poses.
You have 4 minutes left till you will be impacting with Phobos.
Oh no,
I know,
we gotta go.
I'm on my way.
Right, mission. The reason we were here.
I run.
Yeah,
We
we're
can
both
run
there.
back to the elevator and
As
take
you-
it back up.
As you're running through the ship's walkways, making your way back to the dock, you can hear the sound of the transports locking into place and docking from Quaid's men.
We should tell them that there are 2 areas if they go to, they'll die, right?
Yes. Yes. But I'm
Okay.
going to try and fix those, so...
Okay. You get your way all the way back up to the bridge as the last of the transports is docking with the colony ship. By now, of course, you know, Magic Carpet Ride's only a 5-minute song. It's ended.
It's looped, I assume.
No. It was set to play once at launch by whoever was going to pilot this thing more than 1,000 years ago.
That's crazy.
And you have made your way all the way back to the bridge. Power seems to be functioning for the tractor beam. You are now in space and have a wonderful view once again of Mars. This time from a slightly different orbit than the last time that you got to view from Mars.
We're
And heading
Marsternauts.
towards the other moon, No, not the one that you blew up something on, but Phobos. The further distant moon, in fact, of the two.
Away we go.
In pursuit are those capital ships that you had left up here on your previous run. And they are inching closer as they are much faster than this colony ship when it is not attached to another moving object.
Well, we're about to fix that.
So who's going to use the tractor beam up here?
I'll take
Is it a
tracking.
computer's role?
It would be a computer's roll.
I can't pilot, so I'll take it.
Yeah, and I'm the only one who can pilot, but I get 2 computer checks.
Well, I have an 18 in computers.
I have the same.
All right.
So we've got options.
So I'll pilot.
All right, you are flying the ship. Who is going to use that tractor beam?
You're going to be better in almost every other situation, most likely. This is my best guess.
Right. So use the tractor beam.
Yeah, I'll take tractor beam.
All right, going to use the tractor beam. Go ahead and give me a computer's roll.
That's the wrong dice. That is going to succeed by 13. Excuse me?
Critical success.
14.
Wow. Oh, we're ready with the critical successes today. You walk on to Phobos at the perfect point in its orbit where the ship immediately picks up the velocity from the orbit, pulling it into the ship itself, which is what it is designed to do, increasing the speed enough that you almost feel the inertia even though you're in space. And you think you could hear some other parts of the ship shear off from the increase in velocity. Other stuff that you didn't need.
That's fine.
I hope none of those were the carriers that we've got with us.
While you're doing this, I would like to be slowly and quietly cleaning myself. So,
With your tongue? Like
since you don't seem to need me for this part, that seems the most effective use of time.
Boarding the ship are Quaid and his 200 volunteers.
Howdy.
And you are flying through space from Mars towards Luna at this point on a collision course using Phobos as a shield.
Stay out of the engine room, Quaid. We'll go down there.
And even at this range, Luna has already begun firing defensive weapons which are hitting the moon, Phobos, and slowly blowing little chunks of it off as it gets closer.
We're going to blow up the moon.
Well, whatever's left of Phobos should be a good enough screen to get us in close. A few chunks will probably impact and cause a lot of damage, and hopefully a big enough distraction for us to land. We've got 8 transports docked. One of them is for you. I know you said you had some things to do, so you do what you need to do with that one. I want to thank you guys for this. I mean, this is really something. We finally got a chance. So once the ship and whatever it is left on the moon here, Phobos impact, bring your transport in and do whatever it is you came to do. If my guys can help you, they will, but they have their own job to do too. So you might be on your own.
I am looking for my brother still. Maybe you know him. Maybe you heard of him.
Who's your brother? You are the first robot man I've ever seen.
Yeah, but he's probably not.
Okay.
I had a signal that I was tracking. And my brother Eli, I've been looking for a long time. It's a long shot, but I don't know.
There is the best technological equipment in the entire universe on Luna. If there's something to be found, that's going to be a place to look. And that is the seat of operations for everything the Trends do. In fact, I gotta go and address my men, but I'll answer your questions in just a minute. And he walks away from you and shouts to his troops. All right, guys, listen up. You got your assignments, but remember, you lay eyes on one of our 3 HVTs, you drop whatever you're doing, and you kill the son of a bitch. We got reason to believe at least one of them is on Luna base. Stay sharp, kick ass, and remember, we are all doing this for our friends and family back home. This is for them, from Mars.
Damn right. Mac cries a little bit.
And chunks of the moon are flying off as it's getting closer and closer, streaking across our solar system.
That's weird.
And then Tom addresses you. John, I have located Eli's signal. It's coming from the moon. I can't pinpoint the precise location. Perhaps I'll be able to once we are on the surface. It is his current signal, John, not the trace of his signal. He's there.
That wizard king.
Wow. All right. Good.
And hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us on today's episode of Masters of the Metaverse, spanning through with the remote ends and all of that.
Oh, man.
Barring anything absolutely insane, we will get back to this and what's going to happen next week. Even if we have to remote in, we'll get back to it. I am 100% confident we will be able to pull this off.
Go team, go, 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 team, go.
I want to make sure everybody, takes care of yourself at home.
Yeah.
Take care of your loved ones and your family. Be careful and be safe out there. Make whatever preparations you feel necessary for yourself to do. And if you need help or you need somebody, don't hesitate to call somebody. Reach out. Be there for each other. We're a community. The only way we can get through crisis and disasters is as a community.
And wash your hands, you filthy
Seriously,
animals.
folks, if you're not on Discord, please hop on.
Yeah.
It's been a via of communication and a great way to stay in touch. And I interrupted Sean because I'm not in the room, but yeah, he's right. Wash your hands for crying out loud.
Wash your hands. Take care of yourself. Be healthy. Be safe. We love you all. We'll see you next time.
Love you.
And stop licking people.
Night, y'all.
Never stop
Until-
licking people.
No, stop licking people.
Never stop
Really?
licking
No,
people.
Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse. They travel through time and space and stuff. Troll them, re-roll them, throw them above. They fly through dimensions, this isn't a bluff. Heroes compelled, they have no choice. Bound by the winds of a secret voice. Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse. Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse.